Got it. I got it.
right.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
There
Nailed
you go.
it. Boy, did we stick the landing.
Let's try that again.
Give the old Falcon a pop.
Hi!
Hello, everybody,
Hey,
and welcome
we
to
here?
another episode of the Role Players. We're here. We're here, and it's all
Role players, here
proper.
we are.
Yeah.
Everybody's in the right little cubes. We're all good.
Yes, my gosh, you don't know what it takes to get here, but we're here.
Jesus, can we please get on set?
Only 7 minutes late, you guys. It's a
No.
new personal best.
It's
It's a whole new world.
We'll get back there. We'll get back there. We used to be on time back in the day. Zoom is a whole thing, as you guys can see. So, but hello, and thank you for joining us as we play the world's greatest role-playing game ever, Dungeons and Dragons. I'm your Dungeon Master.
Bum, ba, ba, bum.
I'm your Dungeon Master, Judd. These are my role players. These are all this. Now, we are missing Gabriella tonight. She is doing a production of something and she's not available. We miss her desperately. We'll see her. She'll actually be here on Numenera on Wednesday, so look for her there. Wow, like we're kind of on time. Let's just do it. Peter, I think you're going to do some announcements for me tonight. What do you got?
Cool.
Oh, is that a notebook I see?
This just in. This is Gary Catalog with the Worldwide News. There has been a kidnapping of the world's greatest detective named Toots McGee. Now, in order for us to hire the greatest body finders this world can ever see, the legendary legendaries, they require something. They require the service of coin and dice. So what I need you to do is go over to Skull Splitter Dice, and I need you to spend a lot of money. I need you to spend a lot of coin. I need you to buy a lot of dice, see? And I need you to put in our code, the TRP code that gives you a whole bunch of percentages, and just spend those percentages on dice. The second thing I need you to do for the legendary, so we can hire them to take Toots McGee back from the Dark Whisperer, for the Dark Whisperer has stolen Toots McGee. You need to go over to Thrill Studios, I say, Thrill Studios, because the legendaries want to buy a bunch of minis and get their mock combat so they know exactly what to do when they face the Dark Whisperers. And so, again, the TRP code for Thrill Studios to get yourself some minis, and you better do it quick and you better do it fast, or I'm gonna slap you around, see? And that's all for Toots McGee, and we all know we love Toots McGee, so bring her back. Thank you, and thank you, Thrill Studios, and thank you, Skull Splitter Dice, and especially to you, fabulous fans. Now get over to our Patreon site. It's patreon.com/theroleplayers, and go and spend money and support us so we can keep doing silly, stupid things like this for your entertainment. Thank gosh. Here's a breath for you. And last but not least, I'd like to say theroleplayers.com is now up. Yes, our website is now up. Thank you very much, and please enjoy the show.
Wow.
I say, old boy, did you not only do announcements, but introduce some ambiguous subplot to something about a missing person?
This is his backup. This is his backup character. So yeah.
Toots McGee. If anybody has followed, my painting show, they know Toots McGee, and they know, Toots McGee she's the most famous investigator in the world, better than Sherlock Holmes. But Toots McGee has been stolen, taken, body snatched, and so we need her back. So that's the copy I was given. Sorry. See that? It was written in code.
Like a map.
What
Okay,
a
all right.
gnarly narrative
Wow.
to start us off.
Yeah.
There we go.
Wow.
I'm speechless. Well, thank you very much, Peter / Toots McGee.
Here's a beer for me.
Yeah, I
Thank Toots
appreciate it.
McGee.
I don't know where I am, but I like it.
Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm sure everybody's enjoying it too. So, thanks, buddy.
I have a soft spot in my heart for anything like vintage, retro, 1930s style.
Yeah, like Foppers 20s, roaring 20s.
Gets me like every time, always. Like, just, I can have more of that.
And an aquile. Yeah.
And it's just the best voice to do. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It is fun. We have one final announcement. As we are rapidly approaching 500 followers here on Twitch, if we trigger that tonight, or I'm just gonna like do some crazy giveaway stuff. So if we get any raids and people come in, chat, tell them we're gonna do some giveaways. We're gonna give away some D&D stuff. We're gonna give away some merch. So
Tell him, Chad. Tell him, Chad.
What?
Didn't you say Chad? Tell him.
No. Chat.
Oh.
Chat.
Wait, who's on first?
Yeah.
What's
Wow.
on
I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, you tell him, Chad.
Yeah, you go, Chad. You go. You tell
Yeah,
them. When they come in, you tell them all about the giveaway.
It's great. I agree. I support this fully.
Chat.
Yes.
Chat.
Yes.
All right. Wow.
Okay.
Catch those
Well,
spiders, Ron. You catch those.
Speaking-
Yeah.
Speaking of Chad and speaking of this show, which I think we need to get underway, Otto, why don't you lead us off in a little introduction? We'll be right back with tonight's episode of The Role Players.
The role players.
Let me tell you a story about a time that me and my friends found a new world. It started on a ship, brought together by a storm. We traveled through the rift to a new world beyond. We were thrown into shackles, we were hunted down by thieves, but we'll never let it stop us from sailing on Acroleaf, for we are thee.
Okay, hello,
Stop
everyone.
touching me.
Okay.
Stop touching me.
So we're
What?
back
Oh, what back?
from space.
Find your way back.
Oh.
Okay.
Back for the attack. Dawkin. That is the theme music for tonight, boys and girls.
Back
if you're
for the
wondering
attack. Good one.
what Chad and I
For
listen to,
some
is we
people,
rock. For some.
others of us
some.
have like a little bit more of like a jazz attitude about
Yeah,
this.
a jazzitude.
Jazz
A
attitude.
Kenny G.
jazzitude, if you will.
Yeah, if you will.
Rap attitude.
Okay.
Awesome.
I can tell. Wow, it's gonna be one of those nights where I'm just reining you all in. I know. I feel all
We can't focus.
spinning out of control.
The monkeys
okay.
are out of the cage.
All right,
The
kittens.
monkeys
All right,
are out
kittens.
of the
Over here.
cage.
Look at the moving
Sometimes it
stuff.
hurts to focus.
Well, then just sit back and relax and listen to our recap of what happened
Sometimes
last time
Good idea.
in Anacroli. So, as you all made your way through the dangerous wilderness of Anacroli, you stopped for the night only for Erisette. You had some sort of strange vision or experience or alternate reality that happened. You saved the life of a woman named Rana who was frantically searching for her son, who had talked up a big game coming from Asley and was going to slay an evil tree person. And you decided that you would help her, and you followed her down. The rest of you decided you would also help her, and you followed this woman down into this hollowed out tree, and you found this underground chamber with this dangerous, sick, huge evil treant that was holding the corpse of her son. And you fought this creature, but you realized very quickly that something was not right. It moved too quickly. It hit too hard. And Erisette, before long, you saw members of your party, one after another, slain in front of you. And as you saw the last one, Seville, held up in its grasp, squeezing the life out of him, watching his very last breath seep out of him, you lined up your shot and you let this arrow go and you felled this treant creature. And Rana, who had disappeared before, reappeared now, and you realize that this was a test of something. She was very mysterious, and she also bore a very striking resemblance to you. And you wondered who she is and what she was doing there, but she said, "There's great evil coming. You're on the right path, but you must never give up, no matter what happens." And with that, you snapped out. You were back in your campsite. You were talking to Seville. It was your turn for watch. And he noticed that you had a new moonstone choker around your neck, which you had seen Rana use in the vision, but is now there. And you wondered what just happened. It was clearly real to some degree. You all managed to get through the night, and you set off, and after many hours of travel, you came to the Cat's Teeth Mountains, finally, and to the dangerous valley below its peaks, where you saw a massive fissure spanning across for miles, and it was actually a mile across, and you saw on the rock face on the far side, carved in, was this some sort of a structure, possibly a temple. You made your way across a strong but scary rope bridge to the other side, where you found the entrance buried under thick vegetation. Tabitha, you managed to find the mechanism that opened the door. And as you saw the stone recede into the ground and this blast of air hit you, you all looked around wondering if this map to some legendary armor and weapon that Kello told you about, something that seems to be imbued with Shatterall's power or favor, if it's really going to be worth it as you look down into the darkness of this entrance. And that, my friends, is where we find you tonight. What would you all like to do?
I would
Please
like
never say
to
die.
enter into the into the entrance.
All right.
I would like to follow, but I'm being cautious.
What's the light source we're looking at there down below?
You're seeing no light down below, just the light of the fading sun. And at this point now, it is the gloaming. You know, the sun has set. There's still light in the sky, but it's getting darker. And you're hearing noises around you of creatures darting through the bushes and trees, the distant strange call of other animals off in the distance. But there's very little light going down, and there's no light inside. You
And
just
what
see
is-
descending stairs
What
going
is
down.
Snack doing?
Snack is
What is Snack doing?
just standing
Great
right next to
question.
Tabitha, kind of peering into the darkness
Is
as
Snack
well.
looking scared or game?
Or yeah, what's the fur? What's happening with the fur?
Looking down, you see that the fur is
I need a fur cast. Get it? Like a fur cast. I
wow.
love puns. A fur cast?
I don't know if that qualifies
It's
actually, but that's
fur.
fine. Good
No,
work.
yeah, I mean,
Telltale.
Yeah,
we got it.
we got it.
But
It's gonna be that kind of a night, people. Just hold on.
No, it's canon now.
No, it's not. I'm gonna veto that. Okay. Anyway, moving on. You look down at the cat and you see that the cat is touching your side, which you've now come to realize is kind of a reassurance that the presence is there, and it seems that she is on guard, and just intently, not looking around. You hear all the noises in the jungle around you, but Snack's focus is right down these stairs.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll
go ahead.
yeah, I'll head down because I can see.
So the order so far is Otto, Tabby, Snack, Seville.
Yeah,
I guess me and Dags.
I'm gonna look back at you all and say, looks like we should light a torch, I think, as we go in, if all are agreed, and we may want to think about leaving a little bread trail for ourselves. Who knows how windy these tunnels are like to get.
Okay,
Well,
I don't love the concept of a bread trail just because I feel like it would be a waste of bread.
I'll take out my piece of chalk, and Otto, I've got it right here, and I'll mark a little star.
Even better.
Can you guys hear the audio, by the way? Can you hear the music?
No.
No.
Cannot.
Stand by.
But
But if it's spooky music, then
It's not really spooky, I don't think.
we
It's just,
should all.
the other thing I was gonna say was, if anyone else wants to take point and scout ahead, don't let me get in your way.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll go up ahead just before the bloom of the torches go, just to kind of peek ahead.
Damn it.
Okay. So a marching order, we have Seville, Otto, you're lighting a torch.
Yes.
I'll say Dagmara is probably going to be there closer to the front with you.
Yeah, she can
Wait,
see.
how did that marching order happen? I thought we were all in a different order.
I'm sorry, I was
We had
messing with
one
audio.
discussion?
Let me know what the order is.
I can hear it.
I thought it was
now.
Otto, Tabitha, Seville, and then the other two girls
Oh,
who were
okay.
kind of like walking in together. That's what I thought.
That's
But,
fine. That's fine. Like I said, I was trying to get the audio playing. so-
Although I will say, we
I'm
got
letting
the
Seville go
humans-
ahead though to scout. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
just 'cause I
okay.
can
That's
s-
what I
I can
didn't.
see without a torch. Yeah.
Yep. That checks out because Otto and I are blind in there.
Okay.
So now, Otto, are you going to move up forward with? Wait, no. Seville's moving up ahead of us, right?
Yeah.
I think he's just scouting ahead. You know, there could be some dangers lurking in here.
Although, Irisette, that is kind of what you're best at. Perhaps you want to join him. Also, it might be a great time to flirt.
Ah, good idea. Yes, absolutely. And Otto, let me make sure that you are safe by having elven eyesight handy.
What?
That might help things.
So-
And I
Yes,
scoot up.
you want to go. You want to go ahead to protect me, not to flirt with Seville.
Definitely not.
What?
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm
Ew.
honored. I kind of like wink at Tabby. I'm honored you would put yourself at risk for a measly soul like mine.
And Tabby,
Has no equal.
I kind of like lean behind and like nudge Dagmara in the ribs, and we're all laughing.
All right. So, Erisette, you traipse down past the rest to catch up with Seville. The two of you make your way down these stairs, and they go down for some distance. You're guessing probably about 25 feet or so. You're now underground, and it comes to a landing, and it switches around and goes off to the left, and it continues down. The air in here smells, again, it smells clean. You expected it to smell kind of putrid or old or dusty, but there's a moistness and a freshness to it, and you can see that there's definitely a dampness in here. You see some kind of like moss growing on the stone as you make your way down, but you do see that there's a bit of dust here too. Like, it seems like this has been undisturbed for a long time. And do you continue to go down after the stairs turn?
I do check closer at the moss and see if I see any kind of, I don't know, anything about it.
Sure, roll a nature check. Let's.
She's checking out some moss.
That would be. That would be a
was
17
Otto
on
March.
moss there, sir.
I'm walking down, not
What'd
the
you
middle
get?
of the stairs, but
A solid 17 on moss.
Oh,
yeah.
in my way.
I mean, you take a little bit.
Moss.
Yes,
Oh.
you know this
Is
moss.
it Scotch moss?
Even
Is
though
it baby carrot?
I'm gonna say it's kind of like a breed of Scotch moss. It's this like really soft, fuzzy. It's got a really clean smell to it, and you've seen something similar back in your land in Faerun. Doesn't seem evil. There's nothing dangerous about it.
Evil moss.
Evil moss.
Moss.
Healthy.
Making a
Healthy
note. Evil
soft.
moss is gonna happen.
Okay,
Great idea.
That'd be such a
sign.
great thing for like everyone's walking along and somebody inexplicably is like, yeah, that was evil moss.
Body moss.
You
I
almost
take-
walked right into it.
I take a bit of it and I put it in my satchel just in case I get any calluses, sores, bunions, etc. because they make great foot care little tools, and you know how I am about
We all know
Just
where
what
this is
you
going.
need.
We know how you
You
feel
need
about
it.
feet.
Jeez.
Yeah.
This is turning into a foot poultice.
Your
Yeah.
feet haven't gotten enough attention this campaign.
discreetly. No one has to know. This is just a
Okay, all right.
little-
Well, I won't make you roll a stealth check, but let's say you scrape some off, you put it in your little, you're like, I'll take some of this with me for my future foot rub.
It's so soft.
And all right, so you're looking down at the next segment of stairs. Looks like it goes down past your dark vision, Seville, as you in front. It just seems to go down and down and down.
All right.
So we're waiting back still now.
Yeah.
You guys are
with the
waiting,
torch
yeah.
lit.
So I'll just look up and call him down.
No, guys, that sounds too much like a bird. I think it's supposed to be more like grr, grr. You want it to sort of sound like an obvious signal.
Distinctly not an actual creature.
As all of these sounds are going off, Tabitha just like, I'm looking at Otto and I'm like rolling my eyes because he's doing all these trolly sounds back at their sound.
And Snack just starts padding down the steps. And she's just going off.
We catch up to where they are, and I say, anything? Looks clear?
Looks clear so far. We got a long staircase down here, so.
All right, well, we'll wait here if you
start
want
off.
to go see if there's anything else ahead. And I suppose the two of you, so, you know, there's no one by themselves at risk of danger. You know, you'll be able to watch.
So I just look at Ariset and I said, do you want to tie us off? And I start down ahead.
I kind of blush and I like tie a rope and I
No.
tie him next to me and I'm
No, just kidding.
oh of course.
I know you're fond of tying everybody off and stuff like that. Anyways, so I'm
Oh,
gonna.
I didn't know that. I didn't know they had gone quite.
I like very quickly untie the rope and I
No.
yeah
So I'm gonna pick my way down, kind of every other step to the sides, and I'm investigating as I go down.
Okay. Roll
Listening,
investigation check as you go.
All right.
No cheating.
Whistle while I go. 12.
Yeah, so you check all the stonework as you're going down. Looking at it now, these steps don't look like they're well hewn. You know, they look a little bit rough. There are patches where the moss has gone down into the floor where you see drips coming from above, and it's a little slippery. You kind of avoid those areas and slip down. You go about 15 feet, and then you can see the bottom. It looks like it just kind of levels out, and there's a wall about 10 feet away from the end of the stairs. And it looks like it's a bit of a curving wall from what you can tell from this angle. But you don't see any traps. You don't see anything that alarms you yet.
All right, so the stairs go straight down into sort of like a bowed wall.
Yeah, it looks like down into a room with a bit of a circular wall, perhaps.
Okay. All right, I'll mark another chalk mark
Okay.
at the end of the stairs, and so I'm guessing we're staggered. So I'll just signal Ariset, and then maybe by torchlight they can see, so we're not making noise. We can just give a signal of coming down.
okay so I'll say come closer, it's okay, come.
Yep, we come on down.
We come on down.
And I'll take a peek in the room and on the floor ceiling just before I step into it.
Okay, so you get down
And
to...
I'm being extra stealthy, even
Okay.
though I'm with a bunch of people, just, you know, making sure that skill is always staying sharp.
Let's just roll a stealth check, and of course you have advantage on that roll because of your boots.
All
make a
right. Okay, I rolled a 13, and then I'm pretty sure we add some numbers.
Well, you do add some numbers. I'm sure that's
some
All
numbers.
right.
You get to roll
Couple.
twice.
13 plus 9.
Oh, wow.
Guys,
Yeah.
Still got it.
Did you roll twice? Was that your
yes,
highest roll?
13
Yeah.
was higher than my other
Oh,
one.
nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. So even, I mean, yeah, Otto, you even look back for a second thinking that Tabitha didn't come, and she's right behind you, just making zero sound. And Snack is there also, just naturally silent cat predator going down all four paws. Just,
And I even imagine that, like, I kind of take advantage of that and maybe, like, tap Otto on the side and then hide around the other side, kind of like try to torture him with
I
my
love it.
stealthiness.
love it.
Yeah, and I eventually am just like, what in the devil? And then when I see you, I'm like, maybe you should be scouting ahead. My goodness.
And I'm just like-
Nope.
And then I go ahead to try to sneak up on Sybil,
Nice.
just for fun.
Hey,
Seville, you make it to the bottom of the stairs, and you said you wanted to poke kind of around the corner, because the walls kind of go with the bottom of the stairs, and then they terminate there, right at the bottom, leaving a space between the bottom of the stairs and the wall. And you get down there, and you look around, and it's indeed a circular room. It's maybe 35, 40 feet across in diameter. The sides of the walls strangely slope up. Almost looks like this might be a dome. As you look up, you do see like it is slightly domed here. It's not that tall of a ceiling, maybe 10 feet or so at its zenith. On the far side of the room, you see that there are 3 statues, look like heavy, they're all stone, but they look like they're all wearing kind of plate mail with large swords stuck down into the stone. They look sort of like guardians. Roll a perception check for me.
All right. Anything at this site where I can see that sun sign that is on Otto's breastplate and
let's see what you say.
12.
Let's see what you say.
Let's see what I say, man. If this was Toots McGee, I wouldn't need a roll. I just know.
You got 12?
Yeah.
All right. So
yeah, I did.
You start looking at the statues, looking for those sun emblems. Your eyes immediately, however, fall to the middle of the room where you see decaying corpses that look like they were definitely attacked and dismembered. You see one has its head off. There's one that's cut in half. You see broken weapons, a broken shield. These look old. They're essentially just bones and the remnants of old garments left on these. Pulling your eyes off of them, you force yourself to look at the statues, and you don't see any of those kind of sun emblems here. They seem like kind of almost on purpose. There's no markings at all. The chest plates on all the plate armor is smooth. The helmets are closed. But again, it's just stone.
Yeah.
On these pedestals, each one's maybe about 2 feet high stone pedestals that all these are on. And
just to clarify, the statues have no markings, or the corpses have no markings?
The statues have no markings, and I forgot, there are 6 of them. In between there are 3, and then it looks like there's another set of steps going down, and then another 3.
So it's like.
So it's all level. It's all level. It's just that on the far side of the room, in this curving circular room, there are 3 statues on each side of another descending stairs that just seems to go. It's in the floor. It just goes down.
Oh, just.
Seems like it's got to be a puzzle.
Dagmara, do these look like any of your people? I know you said you lost a few men in your town to this region.
That's a great question. What do you say, Dagmara?
No, it doesn't really look like them, but thank you for asking me.
Okay.
You see Dagmara's face actually studies for a moment. She said, no, they disappeared too recently to have completely decomposed to skeletons. They can't beat them.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Well, be wary of touching these things here.
I want to investigate the area for traps, any sort of like puzzle or traps. I'm thinking back to the one that was torches, where it was like 3 torches and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah.
You want to take a side? Take one side, I'll take the other side, and we can...
Sure, yeah. I'm feeling left.
Go like this. All right, I'll take right.
Okay, so you guys, and do you go into the room to do this investigation, or are you just kind of doing it like close to the stairs where you've come down?
I think in the room.
Go into the room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll investigations as the 2 of you step out, looking around, looking for...
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I rolled a 1, but don't forget, I have halfling luck.
Halfling luck!
Lucky.
Halfling luck! Get your V-shaped guitar and do that riff.
10.
10. As the 2 of you make your way into the room, you make it maybe a quarter of the way into the room. You hear this sound suddenly. You just hear this. and you see the image of the statues as if these spirits just step out of each statue.
Oh,
Wait,
great.
you mean they weren't just normal
These-
statues?
They weren't just normal statues.
Oh no!
These ghosts
I
step
never
out,
would have thought that.
step down to the floor, and reverse their swords, all in unison. Their swords go up, and they start marching towards you. What are you doing? What are you two doing?
Okay,
I'm
well,
not going to draw a weapon. I'm going to kind of tune into just Chaterelle and just offer up a quick. It looks like I'm in one of your temples. If just let me feel your presence. Tell me if these things are of your
Tabitha, if you
spirits.
watch,
I'm
Seville's eyes
closing
closed.
my eyes because I'm really afraid of ghosts, and I'm also communicating to Snack in my head, saying, "Please come help me."
And
Do I see this, Dad?
what are you two doing? Are you Otto, Erisette? Are
I'm
you
back, remember?
Are you staying on
we
the
see
stairs?
this, right? We're right behind them, right?
It's up to
See
you.
this?
No,
Seville and
Yeah,
Tabitha
I-
went out and around.
Yeah, I mean, I assumed I was also down there with them, so I would think I see this coming.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they three were scouting, and Dagmar and I were the only ones who hung
the stairs.
behind, if I
Okay,
understand that right.
Erisette, you watch as this happens, and you see Seville closes his eyes and he's muttering something, and Tabitha is just like, ah, and you see them all raise their swords like ring wraith style, and they're just, and Seville, they're right on top of you, and you
still
see.
not
I
gonna-
run and I dash and I body slam Seville out of the way and I grab him before they
All right.
hit him.
I'm going
I-
to try to avoid that because I don't want
I
to.
don't think you even see it.
okay.
Your eyes are closed. She's
Okay.
coming up behind you. Just
I just
bam, she
run
hits you
like a
right as the sword
linebacker.
comes down. Erisette, you see it misses Seville, but the blade is right at your eyes and passes right through you. Tabitha, you feel it too. Just the blade passes through you, and the other ones start just hacking at you. And as you all stand there, after a moment, they vanish.
Okay, well, if I'm honest, I thought that was going to be worse.
And
Yeah,
I
so
probably
we're
come.
okay?
I probably come like up to join them right after the statues disappear, and I see they all look freaked out, and I'm like, "Is everything all right?"
So I kind of have Erisette on me, and I look and see
We
the.
can give you a moment, Tabby. By all means, let's.
You're right,
Thank
you're
you.
right. They should just go ahead
Really
and
not a problem. I
get on
mean,
with it.
I think
I had
it's better
a
suited for camp.
feeling.
I think it's better suited for camp than when we're out adventuring. But you know what? I'm not one to boss you around. So
And I say to Seville, next time you're in mortal danger, I'm all for praying, but try to be a bit pragmatic, would you?
I felt it wasn't dangerous. I don't know
mortal
why.
danger?
I just didn't feel like we were in danger. Something about these spirits. They just didn't seem like.
Spirits? Have I missed something?
So yeah, there were some ghosts.
Yeah, you missed something, Otto.
There were ghosts. And they
Oh,
were
go on
spooky,
now.
and I don't like them.
But thanks, Wild Sauce. I'm glad you have me back.
You're welcome.
She's got more than just his back.
Tabby,
Bad, Tabby. Now, were you able to communicate with these spirits at all, or see where they went off to? Surely they weren't here for no reason, and I can't
They just
start
kind
looking
of
over the...
disappeared, but maybe it
Yeah.
was like they were guarding something. I don't know.
And then I turned to Otto and I said, you know, it's strange. Right before they disappeared, one of them looked like that Gith kid, that 5-year-old child that you.
Oh,
took
the
down.
gift infant. The,
Oh no.
Yeah.
I think you are all confused. I
one
think
with-
you mean that
Yes.
terribly dangerous spellcaster who nearly killed
Yes.
us if it weren't for my bravery.
the
Now,
freshly newborn baby gift. Yeah.
I
Yes, the one that was being delivered by a blind woman.
I examined the statues, Judd.
Yes, we'll go to the statue.
Roll an investigation check. Anybody who wants to look around, and don't forget there are several bodies, skeletons really at this point.
18 plus 4, 22.
Oh,
22.
boom.
So you move
yeah.
up, Otto, close to these statues, and I mean, you look at them, and now that the spirits have disappeared, they look like stone statues. You look around, you look at the backside, though, and you see that there are some intricately carved runes. That
magical runes
that are
indeed.
they're just starting to fade. They had the slightest glow to them.
Then right before it fades, I would like to identify what they do.
Oh, yeah.
I'll use a spell slot.
Well
Okay.
played, Master.
I can do it quickly.
Otto.
You do it quickly, and as you see them fading, you very quickly concentrate, look at them, and extend your magical awareness to decipher these runes, and you realize that these are illusory in nature. They just create these illusion of the spirits coming out. There's no other. You feel that there's no other kind of function.
Yeah. This seems nothing more than, and I kind of wave my hand, and it's a way less detailed and large and convincing illusion, but I wave my hand and make maybe, I don't know, a little marble dance through the air or something as I say, this is nothing more than a bit of trickery, friends, meant to probably scare those away from venturing further. But
Yeah.
this does tell us something, does it not?
Then I wonder what killed these fools here, and I'll look over one of the bodies.
What I mean is this tells us someone is capable of placing a magical trap, then we should do well to expect to see more as we go further in. Yes?
Otto, I have a question. Can you
Good scouting, Otto.
does that spell that you just cast, I know it helps you figure out what kind of a magical spell it was, but does it tell you if it was like cast by like a nice person or a mean person or like
No, you see, I am my magic does not suppose to put everyone in such neat boxes of good nor bad nor black nor white. You see, there's a grayness to existence as well as in magic, so I do not truck in such labels.
So that means no, Tabitha. No.
And Tabitha's really thinking about this concept of grayness and how there's not just good and not just bad. And she's having like a kind of lingering thought about her family. And thinking about how like in her memories, her parents are just bad. But maybe there's something more. And that's all. That's just like a little thought that she
Little
had.
inner monologue. Yeah. So I say we should just be careful. That's all I mean.
Thank you, Otto. Thank you.
Well, if they thought they were going to scare us away, they picked the wrong troop. We don't scare as easily as that.
Oh, that's for sure.
I got a 20 on my investigation, Judd,
Okay.
and I want to look down the stairs a little bit and see if I can see any triggers, traps, anything like that if we were to go further down.
Yeah, Erised, so you move over to the stairs, you look down, and once again, there's no light source in this area at all, except for the kind of flickering torch that Otto is carrying behind you. And you see, it looks like it terminates into another round wall down below. You see what looks like maybe a thick vine, just barely in view down there. That's all you can see. Seville, you were checking the bodies. What did you roll?
21.
You start looking at these bodies. There's, it's interesting. Some look like they might have remnants of some armor, but none of them are complete. There's pieces of armor, pieces of like a leather-studded, just a tiny little bit of it. You can see where the bones were cut, and the weapons are broken. The shield again is broken. There's nothing of value here. It all seems. Roll an intelligence check for me.
That would be a 16, I think. Yeah, 16.
So, knowing that this first room contained something that seems designed to scare people away, you look down at these bodies and wonder if it's if it's part of the same kind of story they're trying to sell.
Okay.
Staged, you mean?
Okay.
Huh.
So I look at Otto and I say, "Hey, Otto, come here and check these out. I know you said something about having tournaments fixed for you or staged. Just, I don't know, but have a look at these here. It looks like these bodies are meant to just keep looters or maybe adventurers
Yeah.
away."
And I study the tableau of bodies, Judd. Does it seem that way to me?
Yeah, it does. I mean, there's something about the way that they're laid out. It's kind of particularly gruesome with a beheading and somebody cut in half, and the fact that these spirits had no effect on you. And as you're having this
Yes.
conversation, you hear behind you, up in the distance, the kind of faint at this point, because you're pretty deep down, this.
Oh no, that can't be good, you guys.
Better go see. Can I run toward the noise?
I think
Yeah.
it's the entrance shutting.
Yeah.
Is it?
I'm sure we're
shutting?
trapped. That
So,
seems
Otto-
like exactly what always happens with us.
Yeah, Otto, if you run up, you go up and look, and you do indeed see that the stone has kind of reset itself.
Ding, 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 Tabby. Ding, ding, ding. And damn, damn, damn.
Okay, so Tabitha's immediately going to go into going over the place with a fine-tooth comb, top to bottom. I'm looking through to see if I can figure out what the puzzle is. It's got to be some sort of brick or something that I push, or yeah, that's what I'm.
I'm gonna take a knee. I'm gonna pop a squat and drink some wine while you know.
You're not going to worry about it.
I'm doing some thinking. You know, I do my best work in this kind of environment where my mind can be free.
Where you're
See?
trapped in an underground chamber.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly. So I kind of park my torch near me, and you know, I might jot down a few lines in my ongoing story or a few lyrics, but that's all I'm doing for the time being.
I like it. I like it. All right, Tabitha. So you're just
He-
searching
he
this
drinks
room.
and he knows things. Okay, yeah, I'm searching this room.
Okay, go ahead and roll investigation.
Let's see if I can roll better this time. No. Not rolling great today. Okay, investigation. I got 11.
The night is young. Yeah, 11. Yeah. So you look around the room. You look at the statues. You look for any other sort of indication. You actually do find at the edge of where the wall that holds the stairs coming down, where it kind of enters into the main room, you see on the ground these tiny little runes that are carved into the stone, which you think back, it's when you stepped over them that the spirits came out. But that's all
Okay.
you find. I mean, it seems that there's really nothing else to this room.
I'll look down,
Okay.
see Ariset down the bottom of the stairs. What are you seeing down there,
someone
Wild
told
Sauce?
What? What, Tabby?
I just said perhaps someone taller can take a look at up top. Maybe Mara, you're not doing anything.
I love how you keep trying to involve the person not here.
I'm just saying she
don't want
would be
anything to do-
helpful in this
You don't want anything to
situation.
do with
We
any
would
of
not
us,
be
huh?
sitting there popping a squat.
Who are
Okay.
here.
Dagmara
Yeah.
rolled a 19 for investigation. So
See, this is why I'm including her.
Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
I don't have her sheet pulled
Okay.
up, so hold on. Let me
Plus,
pull-
maybe I'm trying to give some other people in the cast.
+5, Judd, for
Thank you.
investigation.
So 24,
They're
yeah.
what?
Yeah, and I don't appreciate that, Tabby. I know what you're doing.
Wait, Ariset's down there at the bottom of the stairs, right?
She was just
went
looking down the stairs.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you mean me? Oh, I get it. Oh, I thought you were trying to give Dagmar time to flirt.
No, I'm trying to give you two time to be together.
I get it. I get it now. I get it
Dagmara
now.
misses all of that. She's like, I don't find anything either.
Well, shall we go down?
Yes. And Dagmara starts forward.
All right. Yeah, you
Right.
go first. Just run down
Pass.
there.
You know how to say. We just
Very
want you to
deadly.
go first.
You go first. So,
All right.
Dagmara
Okay,
makes
wait,
her.
I follow after
Yeah.
with snack.
Dagmar makes her way down these stairs. Who's behind her?
Well, I hate to break up Otto's picnic, but Otto, you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Feeling nice and loosened up, friend.
Very nice.
Just know there was some sort of a root or a branch. I don't know if it's a tree. By the way, what's my tree doing? Is it pulsating, glowing?
You don't feel anything.
wriggling?
You look at it, and it's kind of standard, golden glow, but it's not brighter. It's not extra warm.
Okay.
It seems to be kind of just standard little cute golden tree.
An
Okay.
option,
All right.
if you want.
All right.
I'm sort of wiping wine from my lips, and I say, we can certainly venture forth. I'll be right behind you, but we may want to consider going back to the entrance where it closed in on us. Perhaps we can discern how it did so, and maybe even find a clue as to do such a terrible thing.
All right. Fair enough.
So, merely putting the option on the table, mind you.
Okay, Tabitha is, I imagine, if she could take 2 stairs at a time to try to get back up to the top to see what is happening up there. That's what she's gonna go do.
Okay, so
I'll go with
Tabitha.
you. I'll help her because I can see better in the dark, and I'll just run my hands along and see if there's a lever or something in case we have
All right.
to make
And,
it
and
quick.
Snack goes with you as well. So the 3 of you make your way back up. You see you're now at the backside of the stone tablet that has kind of closed off the door. Roll, whoever's looking, roll an investigation check. I guess, Ariset, you're the one who's feeling the wall.
I'd say that you should take a side, Tabby, and here.
Yeah,
I
I'm
love the
there
torch
too,
for
and
her.
I have my torch, and I'm gonna specifically try to keep an eye out for any more runes like the ones I saw in the statue.
Let's say, okay, so if you're there with your torch, and actually, Ariset, I won't even make you roll for this, because as you get close to the door, you see there's a stone block sticking out from the wall that looks like it has some clearance around it. It looks like there was some moss there. It's been scraped away. And you ascertain pretty quickly that this is probably the way to open the door. If you want, you can push it. It looks like it goes inward.
Tabby, check this out. See if it's on a lever or anything like that. See if it's
Okay.
automatic, or if somebody has to move it, in which case we'll know we're not alone.
Well,
And I take a look at it, and for investigation, I rolled a 13.
Yeah, you look at it. It doesn't look like it's trapped. It does indeed. You see the scrape marks on the side where there was some fresh moss scraped off recently. You think this is probably part that operates the mechanism for the doorway?
so, it's worth noting this all could have been built into this room, and, well, I suppose one way to look at it is if this gets us out, we know that it does so, and by keeping it closed, we actually ensure we won't be flanked by anyone trailing in behind us.
Agreed. And we know how to get out if we have to make a quick getaway. Good thinking, Otto.
Okay, fair enough.
Well.
I guess we don't need to double check it.
Well, if you feel the need, by all means, but I suppose we should also...
Tabitha presses it. I just
As you're saying that, Tabitha just reaches out, pushes it in, and you see it goes, and as it starts to sink in, the door slides open right there, and you see now the darkness of the jungle and the dark sky above. And you hear,
okay, now
Alright,
can you
then.
push it back to close it?
it's in the wall now, flush.
Oh, okay, so we must have initiated it later on.
Maybe we've tripped it inadvertently somehow. We'll see if we do it again. Let's go catch
All
up
right.
with Seville.
Let's stay together.
So we're leaving it open, but now we're walking back down to the stairs.
Yeah, we
right?
have no way to close it now. So
Okay.
I don't see any other option.
If anybody kind of looks at it, because I assume you're doing that since you pushed it in, you're trying to figure out a way to kind of
To close
operate
it
it
again.
again. You see that it's ever so slightly moving out, like extremely slowly.
Oh, so it just is something over time.
Ah, okay, so then that means we may still be alone, which is good.
It'll close behind us again, yes. Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're
Okay.
good then.
Carry on.
All right. Nice work, guys. And we run back. I run back.
Hi, Seville.
Yes, I'm kind
So-
of skipping back.
Hello, everyone.
All right,
We
you
found
make
a way to. We're
We
not.
figured out how to make the door shut behind us
Yes.
slowly and open back up again, so we're not trapped in here, but we are kind of protected.
and
All right,
as
well,
you,
that's a good thing in case we
you-
need to make a quick getaway.
as you come
Also,
down
why don't
again.
we all have a moment? If anybody has any bunions or sore spots on their feet, I picked up a bit more moss, and it's
Wow.
very, very comfortable. Would anybody like a little adjustment to their footwear? Well,
Tabitha's looking
No.
down at her like amazing,
Wait,
perfectly
you mean
quiet shoes, and so I'm like, no.
You're
Okay.
trying to rub someone else's feet instead of just
suit
get
yourself.
someone to rub
Suit
yours.
yourself. I mean, I know foot rubs are in short supply here, so just anything we can do is, but it's fine. If you change your mind,
I'll take one by the fire. I'll take one by the fire. A little rain check, as they say.
And as you all go down and you pass, you exit the steps again, you're on that first kind of landing, and you go into the room once again. And those of you who hadn't seen it before, you hear this, and you see these spirits come out of the statues.
And I just waltz by him and I'm like, hello, take care. Yes.
Yeah, you
yes,
kind of
bye-bye.
like put your hand through them, and they just kind of, there's some kind of just illusion magic. And they go through the whole thing, the swords, and they're slashing, and
Oh yes. Oh, yeah.
all right, what are you all doing?
okay.
Let's go further.
Investigation.
Going down
on
with
footwear.
Dagmara, going down the stairs and seeing the bottom of it and
What's going on down at the bottom?
checking to see. I'm going to make another mark on the wall with the chalk.
You make your way down these steps.
It
and-
hasn't forked off yet, which is so funny.
What's that?
It hasn't even forked off yet.
No, I'm still doing it.
You can never
No,
be too
I
careful.
agree. It's great. Just funny.
No,
Sorry.
don't be too careful.
Never know with this DM.
You all make your way down to the bottom, and you can see now the vine or the root or whatever Ariset had talked about previously. It's thick, maybe like 18 inches in diameter. You just see an edge of it as you get down to the bottom of the stairs. Again, it's a curved wall. It looks like now you're on the opposite side. You see that the walls are not perfectly straight up and down like the room above. However, these do go up about 10 feet, and then there's a ceiling. This one doesn't have a domed effect like you saw above. And you peer around the corner, and you see just a bunch of these thick roots or vines or whatever. You're not sure what they are. They have busted through the stone wall. You see debris of the stone where they've punched through and grown. Some are 2-3 feet in thickness as these massive vines go into this room and wind around. Are you going to look around the corner? Kind of see.
Ariset,
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
go ahead, Tab.
you were saying something about your dream that had like a tree with vine arms. Does any of this look familiar?
Like the it that killed us all in my nightmare vision.
Your terrible dream, yeah.
Okay, and I look at it and I see if it's that same weird neon green color or if it's totally different.
No, it seems very different. It has a greenness to it, but not an unnatural or sick green. These do seem like they are. You don't know if they're vines or roots or whatever they are, but they look like plant life, just very large, and they've punched through here.
Do they look anything like the plant life we saw up above when we saw that sort of mound? Are they
Similar,
related?
yeah, similar, bigger but
I wonder
similar.
if it's related. Could this be the root of whatever we saw up there? I mean, there's a water source, I'm sure of it, because there's so much moss on these walls. There's got to be some sort of water. Of course, we're going lower and lower, so water's apt to be found, but
But hopefully, along with the map, that's what we're after all, right?
right.
That's right.
Is
I
anybody?
want to do a nature check on this tree, Judd.
Yeah, go for it.
So none of these things
Not a tree,
are they dangling or are
Not
they
a tree.
attached? Do they look like they're growing in and down? Are any of them free?
They all look like they have busted through the wall.
Okay.
None of them are coming down from above. They all look like they're coming in from the side of the wall.
Would you
I'm
say
just
they're
kind of-
brambles?
Sounds
No,
pretty natural.
no, they're
to
smooth
me.
actually. They're smooth.
Sounds pretty natural.
Like I was
something-
22.
Ooh.
You see some similarities to what you saw above, and going down and inspecting it, just pushing into it gently, where you can't even put a thumbnail into the skin of these roots, you can tell that the fibers are extraordinarily strong, almost like a steel. And you think back to the bridge And the fact that there could be a mile-long suspension rope bridge doesn't make sense, that it could hold weight, much less multiple horses going across. That this is a very unique plant, and they seem like they have just busted right through the stone. And if is anybody looking around the corner to the main room? I don't know if anybody has said that they are.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Well, I'm hanging back
Not doing
behind
that.
everyone, so they would have a chance to do that before me.
All right, so Seville, you see that this room just seems thick with these vines. Like they have just burst through here and snaked around, coiling over each other. And you see a door on the far side. It looks like this room, if it were a true circle, has been cut in half. And there's a door, a thick, like wood and metal door in the middle of the room. And halfway between where the bottom of the stairs and this door, there is what looks like maybe a well or fountain. You see a stone circle about 2.5 feet, almost 3 feet high, with some sort of liquid in there.
I lean over to Seville, who I imagine is close to me, and I say, "It's so nice to see Erisette doing what she's good at. She's got such a way with nature. It almost makes me not angry that she stole my tree."
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it's nice to see her in her element.
Yeah, she's kind of almost, I don't know, sexy.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
And then I just go off to mind my own business, just leaving that there.
All right, what are you doing? Erisette, what are you doing? You hear this, by the way. Yeah, you've got crazy passive perception.
Of course,
you hear
I hear
all
all
of this.
this, and I'm just like,
Your elven ears are like, huh?
I just start to sweat, like really uncomfortable. Like I'm all like pitted out and like really hot, and I'm like, is anybody else? Is it warm? How can it be warm down here? Anyway, I think these are just really strong trees, and they must be what they made the bridge out of. But I don't know that we have much to see here. What else do you find, Seville, Tabby, anybody?
Yeah, look at the well halfway across the room there, and see that door across from it?
I can't see it. My vision isn't good enough.
It looks like
We
there's some
trust you.
liquid
There's a
in the well there.
Ah.
Oh.
So,
Liquid as well. That's pretty normal for wells, from what I
Yes, but
understand.
it's not
Well,
normal to have a well
it's
so
not normal
deep under.
yes, and not normal to have the liquid all the way up to the brim.
Well, best we go take a look.
Maybe it's a wishing well. And
Oh, actually, all
Tabitha
of
pulls
you,
out a coin.
all of you,
Oh, nice!
I hold her back. I say, hold on there. No, let's not get too anxious. And I want to get to 30 feet of the water.
Okay. No problem. You basically kind of just come around the wall, stepping over some
Yeah.
of these vines, and yeah, you're within 30 feet.
I say, now, watch. Might be sort of interesting. And I hold out my hand, and above the water, a spectral duplicate version of that hand hovers over it. And I run my mage hand through the water.
Oh, brilliant! Yes.
Sort of, at first, just trickle the hand through the water.
Okay. Yeah, I think we actually talked about. You might not remember, but we weren't allowing mage hand in this campaign.
What?
Oh.
It's
no,
so
I wasn't
cool.
aware
Why
of that.
not?
Why?
But I'll say for right now. We'll talk about it later. But I'm gonna say for right now, I'm gonna let you do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I had no idea.
And you see this spectral hand appear, and you run a finger through the water, and the magic finger kind of passes through, and you're looking at the water. It doesn't look like water. You see a bubbling, you see like a gentle bloom, bloom, and as you all kind of come around the corner and look at this, you smell this acrid smell in the air. You didn't smell it at first, but as you get around, it's not extremely powerful, but just something emanating from this liquid.
Okay, can I use the, well, I think I would probably just have the hand dig around in the thing, but I don't want to do anything I'm not supposed to be doing.
I would just say, yeah, like, nothing happens as the hand disappears into the liquid and comes out again.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
seems normal to me, and the hand vanishes.
Otto, can I throw my coin? It might be a wishing well.
Hey, by all means, good luck. What are you going to wish for?
Well, I cannot
Don't
tell
tell
you.
me.
I cannot tell you because otherwise it would ruin that wish.
All
Okay,
right,
so
go have fun.
I close my eyes and I wish, just for the viewers to know, everyone else don't listen. I wish for more money, duh. And then I throw the coin.
And you all watch the coin. It's a perfect toss. It lands right on the surface of this liquid. And the moment it hits the liquid, you see, and the coin just starts to bubble and it
That
just
doesn't seem lucky.
turns to this golden liquid and just sinks.
Ooh, it's an acid pool of some sort.
Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't go for a refreshing drink.
Is there a way past the well continuing?
Yeah,
forward?
yeah, it's only
Yeah.
about like 3.5, 4 feet across in diameter.
Yes,
You could just walk right around it.
I agree. I recommend, given what we just witnessed, we ignore this and move it along.
Move along. Should we go to the door? Should we open the door?
Yes.
To the other side?
Okay.
I put my ear to it and I see if I can hear anything on the other side of the door.
Roll perception check.
And I kind of look since we're crossing to the other side of the room, and I look I hold my torch to the well to see if I notice any more runes and any more signs that this could be yet another illusion.
Sure, roll an investigation check. And as you all make your way across the room, Tabitha, there are spots where it's easier for you to go under some of these roots than it is to go over. They're so large and intertwined in this room.
Okay, and I make the choice to go under, and I hope they don't just snatch me.
No, nothing. There's no movement to them at all.
Okay.
I
I
got
got a
21.
15.
Okay.
Oh.
Otto, you look around. You don't see. You're specifically looking for runes. You're looking for something to describe or to kind of give some light on what's happening in this room. You don't find any runes. You inspect the basin. The stone is real. The closer you get to this liquid, you can smell it's stronger, it's pungent. You can see it kind of bubbling. It looks like the liquid, as you bring your torch close, is like a dark brown. Moving away, you look at the door. You see that this looks like an extremely well-built door. There's some of the wood, and it's reinforced with metal. There is a very strange keyhole to it. It looks like it's quite large and an odd shape, almost like a kind of disfigured 8.
Oh, the key. Don't we have keys? We have keys. Didn't we get keys from Kello? Remember?
We did.
He has them. We used them all. We gave them all to him.
We gave them all back.
He did
did.
something with some kind of
No,
puzzle
they-
or something
You're
like
thinking
that.
of the keys that were of use back in Makutha, I believe.
Yeah, with Kello.
Okay, well, I am typically fairly good with locks. Perhaps I should take a look.
Yeah, roll an
Give
investigation
it a
check for me.
whirl.
Not rolling well today, but maybe it will all
I
change.
mean, maybe it'll change now.
You just never
Nope.
people.
That's
Okay,
because
that's a-
D&D is
that's a
real,
10
people.
Total.
That's what? How much?
10.
10. Yeah. So you look at this lock, and the keyhole, again, it's large. The key that would go to this thing would be pretty massive, like maybe like a 6-inch to 1 foot sort of size key. It's really large. And it's in a rough, like the shape of an 8, but it's kind of twisted and has weird edges that looks like so it would fit perfectly.
So wait, you said that when the coin hit the liquid,
Dissolved.
it dissolved, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna look over at the door, and I look over back at the basin, and I'm gonna go put my hands on the side of the basin. Does it feel like it could lift up?
Oh, Jamie. Does it seem like it lifts up, did you say?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, with your investigation check before, you look down and no, it looks like it's solidly built into the floor. You look all around. There's moss. There are no seams. There's nothing that seems like it would lift up.
Is there any of these roots that are not attached, that maybe these strong, powerful roots that are not attached, that I could take one of them or carve off something and put it and see if they dissolve in the...
You don't see any that are free, but you could certainly try to carve some off.
I just want to carve off a little piece of it, yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting out my thieves' tools, and I'm gonna try to see if there's anything that I could use to like make up that shape or to initiate some of the intricacies of what's inside the lock.
Sure. Why don't you roll a sleight of hand to see if you might be able to still trigger the mechanism?
Will I roll better this time?
Yes,
We'll see.
will.
Wait.
Yes, you will.
I almost did it. No, I'm not doing that voice. I'm not doing it, Peter.
Okay, that was good. 16 plus 6.
Yes, that's good.
That's pretty good. And I'm sorry, Seville, we'll come right back to you.
Sure.
Tabitha, you insert your lockpicks in there. You don't have anything that is this size. Even the keys all the keys that you found to date in an Acroly would be way too small for this. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because you have so much space because it is such a large keyhole that your lockpicks go in really easily. You can see, and you're kind of exploring with them. And you really feel like you're in the zone. You got a high roll, and you're feeling like I've got this, and you're looking, but you can't find any tumblers. You can't find any moving internal mechanisms. You're trying to you push things with your lockpicks, and you can't seem to get it.
Okay, so I call back to the group, and I'm like, all right, it's not a traditional lock. It doesn't seem like it operates with a traditional key. I mean. Obviously, it's a bigger key or something else that goes in here, but it doesn't initiate like normal.
Yeah,
so I'm looking for something else.
I nod
Dip
to her.
the wood in the water and see if it transforms it into the right shape.
Well, no, I'm trying to see if it dissolves some of this.
Yes.
So, Seville, you take out your dagger and you cut off. You go down to the end. You might try cutting like a thicker part, but like it's not happening. So you go down to all of these kind of terminate. They get smaller. Towards the end, it's thinner, and so you cut off a little bit. And even this tiny little like 1 inch thickness, it was really hard to cut. You finally managed to get through, break it off. You take it back to the water, and what are you doing?
I'm just going to lay it on the surface. I want to see if the acid dissolves it or whatever this is.
You watch it hit the surface, and it's sort of thick, the kind of viscous liquid. It hits, and it just sinks down into the liquid.
But it doesn't. We don't see that same kind of sizzle
You didn't
or
see
dissolving.
a sizzle. No.
So maybe I don't know, but maybe we could carve something out, like like a small, tiny bowl, or maybe wood. It doesn't dissolve it, and we just pour this acid on the door.
Yes.
If it's acid or something.
I like this idea. Does it seem like there's any part of this metal material that could be removed in such a shape?
You go back, you look at the door, and again, this door is so well made. The seams between the wood and the metal are almost non-existent. There are multiple, look like maybe nail heads or bolt heads that are holding the metal to the wood.
Well, I just mean something that could be like a bowl or some kind of holding receptacle for the liquid, not to fit the door per se, the keyhole. Does it look like any of the metal material from the tree where Seville cut could be?
I mean, the tree is not metal, but you mean it like if you could cut a bit of the vines or something to make a bowl type sort of thing?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
You probably could. I mean, it would take some time. Again, this stuff is so thick.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna try to do.
All right. And
I'm gonna sit down and just start having a snack and maybe braiding my hair.
Okay.
right.
And I'm going to take a close look at the well and see if I see anything around it, anything on it, anything at all.
No runes on this one.
That'll be a 22.
Yeah, Otto spent a fair amount of time looking over this well, looking for runes, looking for any sort of mechanism or any indication. And now that you do it, you see the same. You don't see anything other than this kind of slowly bubbling, acrid liquid that is inside this stone well.
I'm going to take. The metal door has a wooden frame around it.
It is wood and metal. The door is actually made of wood and metal. It's a stone frame around it.
Stone frame. Okay.
How long does it take me to get this bowl?
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
this
I think it's
bowl-like piece?
To carve out a bowl out of this material will probably take you a good 30-40 minutes because it's
Okay.
like your
I
knife.
say to the group, this could take a while, but if we could, as you can see, and I sort of illustrate my thinking, right? I say, if we could get this material to hold it, we could eat through the door.
Okay, well, will this work? And Tabitha, I just pull up the bowl that I have in my pack.
No, it will probably eat through that.
Okay.
Remember, it hasn't
Pretty.
eaten through this metal material.
Doesn't
What
it?
would the bowl be made out of?
I mean,
we gotta find a way to splash
it could be
some of
metal, it
this
could be
on-
wood.
That seems silly too, because I mean, how would we even? What would we splash it with?
Wait, so just so I'm clear, you put the wood from these roots into it, Sibyl, and it didn't dissolve.
No,
Right.
it sank.
But it ate through the
But
coin,
it
and
ate through the coin, yeah.
I take out a piece of
see.
paper and I toss it in and see if it eats through that.
The paper hits it and it dissolves.
So you see, it's this material is unique in its ability to withstand. Therefore, like I say, if we take the time, maybe if we all stand vigilant a moment, we can have this tool for the job in a matter of, I don't know, I'm sure 10 minutes. And even
Is
though I
the-
know in my head it would take longer, that's what I say.
Is the door made out of the same material?
No,
It
it looks
doesn't
like
appear to be.
it's just wood, yeah.
All right, I'm going to go to that strange opening, and I just want to study it and to see if. I just want to see if it's not a key or an item, but I just want to kind of whistle or hum into the opening, something like that may trigger it, other than just a key thing as Otto is
Yeah,
whittling away.
I'm just gonna try to do that.
Yeah.
In the meantime.
Yeah, nothing happens, Seville.
All right.
Just give me just a bit. I'll have this ready in a jiffy.
In the
I
meantime,
can tell you a story in the meantime, if that helps.
Oh, yes, I love a story.
Well, I was nearly married before.
Oh, tell me all about her.
Well, you see, and I'm just whittling away, and I say, when nobility go to get married, it's always this arranged affair, matters of convenience. Is your family matched up with the other family? Are they equal in stature? Is it politically sensible? You get the idea. So one must be filled with an overwhelming sympathy for me when they consider that I was being forced into some relationship that I did not choose on my own. I'm a bit of a sympathetic character in this whole tale, is what I'm getting at. Well,
Okay.
and I'm whittling away. It just so happened that this lady, who I saw for the first time on our wedding day, had some, remarkably lovely friends of hers who were to attend. And I, couldn't help but notice just truly how lovely they were. And in fact, I wanted to understand just how lovely they were so much that the wedding experienced a sudden complication, let's call it.
Okay.
Yes, there was a copious amount of ale on all of our parts. Yes, my goodness. Oh, we drank and were merry, that's for sure. Sorry, I was lost in a vision.
Okay.
And a vision she was, especially the redhead. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. I should be whittling. And I go on and on, explaining that this wedding had to be canceled as I was found in a compromising
Sounds
position.
very Tyrion Lannister of you.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes. It was indeed. And I end it by saying, and that's when I realized that love is complicated. And I give like a bit of a winking type glance to Seville and Erisette. But it is a lovely thing after all. So anyway, a cautionary tale in such pursuits for those who might be keen to listen. And I tell a bit of a little story while I whittle, Judd.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing while that's happening? Anything?
I'm braiding my hair
you to
and
finish?
eating.
Being rude and not listening to my story? Wow.
I mean, it's possible.
Wow.
But if not,
I'm eating my snack.
Also, when that happened, was he angry at you?
Sorry?
When this happened, was your father angry at you?
Oh, yes. Yes. It was sort of veins that I didn't know he possessed in areas of his neck and temple and forehead, and of all the disappointments that I had brought to him, and believe me, there are a great many, that was certainly among the worst.
Why did you agree to be married in the first place if you had no intention of being honorable about it?
Ah, you do not seem to listen very well, do you? I did not agree to it. I was forced into it, as is the charge of nobles. I take it the elves don't engage in such arrangement for their marriages as human nobles do.
Well, no, they've tried to force me to be married several times. I've just simply refused.
Ah, well, see, admittedly, and this is where you and I are different in some ways, I'm whittling away, Judd.
okay.
I say, I realized that I had great luxury and comfort at the behest of my father and my family, and I suppose he always had a good way of pressing me under his thumb and pressuring me into doing things, for he knew that if I were to refuse enough, or if I were to cross a line which couldn't be uncrossed, well, all of those luxuries and wealth and, well, I suppose all the things that I don't have anymore anyway would have been stripped from me. Funny that.
So basically what you're saying, Otto, is that you didn't have many principles, unlike Erisette, and you just thought it would be more convenient for your lifestyle to be married to some random woman.
Well, I rather like the way I phrased it, but yes, essentially, yes, you are cutting to the core of me, Tabby, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And Otto, I
I
said,
can't imagine being
You're-
bought, but one could say, maybe, Otto, that you craved your freedom. And maybe there's a nobler part of you that wanted to get rid of that obligation.
Yes, it's funny you mention, but you know, I wonder how free any of us truly are. Think about it. Seville, you follow the Edgeguard. Hopefully not the evil ones. Tabby, you are perhaps the best example, given that you've completely cut ties with your family and those that would hold you to doing things that you wouldn't want to. But we all have obligations. We all willingly limit our freedoms. I suppose I was, well, doing a grave example of that, and my listening to my father. But in many ways, I'm a changed man. Daenerys said, I think you're right. If I do return to Faerun, I think I'll be doing things a lot more my way.
I have to say, I recommend it. Anyway, how's that bowl coming along?
Yes, are you done whittling?
Yes.
Oh, it's
Judd.
it is nearly done. Trust me.
Yes, Seville.
So as he's, listening to his story, just picking up little things in Otto's intonation in his story, you said the room, it would have been round like before, but you said it was broken up a bit.
It looks like it would be round, but it's cut directly in half with a wall and this door on the wall.
Oh, okay. All right.
How does it tilt? Does it tilt towards the door or away from the door?
No, the floor is flat. You look at the walls curve up a bit. It's slightly larger. If this room were complete without this wall, you could tell it's larger than the floor above you. It only has a ceiling of about 10 feet, maybe 8 feet in here. And you look at the edge of the walls, they're not straight up and down. They curve kind of up.
Right, like a.
How's my progress,
dome.
baby?
You're done, dude. I've been trying to say that. Yeah, you're done. You got your bowl.
Yeah. So I go and I fill it with the liquid.
Okay.
Careful on him.
Careful not to get it on me.
All right, you do your best. You scoop up some of this liquid. You can't hold that much in this bowl that you just whittled from this crazy difficult plant, but I'm gonna say you got a good like cup or maybe 2 cups of this liquid in there.
Little handful, yeah.
And you walk over to the door. What do you do?
So the lock mechanism is made of metal, right?
It is.
I'm gonna pour it all over the lock.
You splash it all over the lock. You see the brown liquid hits the door, hits the lock. It does nothing to the metal of the lock, but you see around it where it hits the wood, it starts eating into the wood, and you hear the but there's something. It's not affecting the metal of this lock.
All right, just give me a moment longer. We're nearly there, and I'm gonna go.
Faster.
Just give me a moment. I'm gonna walk back and forth a bunch of times. I'm gonna fill the bowl with liquid, and I'm gonna splash through the wood until I can try to make a big opening in the wood.
And I'm like licking my fingers, finishing up my snack, and like I could help him, but I'm not quite done yet.
Patience is a virtue in some cultures.
And you start to realize that as you say that, you realize how long this is going to take you. You take over a couple, you splash it. It eats a bit of the wood away, like that surface, but again, you feel like this is a really thick, well-made door, and it seems like it's working, but you don't know how long, because right now let's say you've done like 5 or 6 trips, and it's maybe a quarter of an inch eaten into the wood.
Yeah.
Perhaps an axe.
I was just gonna say, perhaps we should just try this.
Let's
Where's
light
an
it on
axe?
fire.
Well, I mean,
Oh.
there is also metal embedded in it. You see, that could. But by all means, it might accelerate.
Any of these cuts that Otto has made, any of the dissolvings make room for sort of a crowbar to start kind of pulling the metal out?
And if you are going to burn it, maybe stop burning it around where I've made some damage there. And I just keep going back and forth and trying to.
Yeah, you could try with your crowbar. There's not a lot of space. He's trying to kind of erode it near the lock, above the lock at this point, since it's not affecting the lock.
Or maybe even to the side of it, with the idea that if a hole could get through, you could crowbar enough that we could kind of like crawl through it or something.
Okay. Yeah, why don't you try, Seville, with your crowbar?
All right, I'll try.
Just roll a strength check for me.
Just careful. You might want to make sure your crowbar, make sure it's nice and dry, or else your crowbar will be a nothing bar.
Yeah, I'm trying to go around just to make sure that there's not pools of this acid there.
There are no pools. You see it eats into the fibers. It almost disappears completely. Like it eats up whatever it touches.
18.
Okay. You kind of jam it in there, and you just pull. You feel like maybe it moved a little bit, but this thing feels really reinforced really well.
Well, then I guess we're trapped.
Well, hold on. Maybe, is there anything on the ceiling that we can see? I mean, if these things have smashed their way in, maybe they've smashed their way into maybe a segment of the wall that we can crawl through to the other side.
They all seem to be coming from the wall where the stairs kind of, dead end and hit this wall. They're all from that side coming into the room.
I'm just gonna keep on my
Otto,
mission.
as you just keep going, just slowly, you're making progress, but it is taking a lot of time.
All right.
Yes, sir,
Anything on
sir.
the floor?
I'm content to do it until I were to literally get tired from doing it.
Yeah.
Does Dagmara have an axe? So we could just hatchet this thing like a tree? Like,
She does. She's a spellcaster.
You could also
I
blast
don't-
this thing, Otto. I've seen some of your magic. Maybe you can just keep
Yes,
blasting the damn
that's
thing.
very true. I can, but any little bit of help here before I were to damage it is also worth doing, I think.
Yeah, I understand.
Everyone, just take a moment of respite.
Okay.
All right.
In between moments when Otto is going back to get more liquid, I'm just gonna start throwing my blink dagger and then recalling it to see if this helps at all.
And I say to Seville, also know that spell happens to be very, very loud.
I hear you. No, that's smart. Well, we're making progress, slow, but let's keep it up. It's a good idea.
Okay, yeah.
when you put the log in the well, Seville, did the water level rise?
No, it was just a piece, really. Just a small piece. Nothing happened more than it just sunk. So it's heavy.
So there's no point flooding the well and trying to get this acid to eat it from the bottom of the door.
Well, if that happens, all we have to do is break the stones apart and let it just flood straight ahead to the door. But it looks like it'll just run under it. I don't know what dissolving the bottom half of it would do.
Otto, as they're having this conversation, you finally see that you've eaten enough through where you can see finally through this door. It looks like this door might be 4 or 5 inches thick. And you've created enough of a hole that you can now see through. Not get through, but you can see through.
I'm gonna look through and see if I notice anything in there.
Yeah, you see the other half of this circular room. What looks like a sarcophagus, a large sarcophagus, on a raised platform on the other side. From this vantage point, you think you can see some sort of emblem on top. You can't quite tell from this angle, but you do see that there's a mural on the wall opposite. There's some light in here, strangely.
Some light? Can I tell where it's coming from?
No, it seems like
What color or what source does it appear to be?
it's golden. It might be coming from the sarcophagus itself. It's enough light to show you that mural, and you see like all the imagery. You see a large sun off to the right side that's beautifully painted. Almost looks like it might be three-dimensional. With other people all with robes on, but their hoods are down, and they're all holding hands as it goes across this face. There might be chests. There might be chests in there. You can't quite get the angle.
Yeah. So how big is the hole that I made?
I want to say you're eating away at it right now. It's like 3-4 inches
Okay.
Could
Yeah.
Tabitha's wrist fit through the hole?
easily.
Well, hold on a second though. I think maybe we'll make it a bit bigger before we do anything else.
Okay.
If you guys are okay with that.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, just keep pouring and adding to the hole, and the goal is to try and make the hole, instead of just a few inches, to make it big enough that maybe more of like a human-sized arm or bigger objects can get through it.
Yeah, we'll say like another 30 minutes of you pouring this liquid, and you see that the liquid is indeed going down in the basin. It's not replenishing itself. And a couple times you've put the bowl in, it's you've gotten a little sloppy, like it's touched your finger and it's been fine. And you continue to put it on there.
It's been fine.
Is it big enough for me to put my wrist through and just, unlock the door from the other side?
Yeah.
It's
see if you
it's
can
already been big
reach.
enough if you want to.
Okay,
See if
so
you can reach. I
I'm
was
gonna
gonna-
go for it and just try to undo it.
So you reach the backside, you feel the other side of the lock. It doesn't have the same shape, the keyhole shape on the side. It seems smooth. Doesn't feel like there's any locking mechanism. You get your hand on the handle and you touch it, and you hear and the door unlocks.
Oh, hallelujah!
Nice.
But wait a minute, Judd.
Yes.
Did we notice that his hands didn't get burned when he touched the water?
No.
Okay.
Well, now that the door's open, I'm not going to make a big fuss of it anyway. And I'm going to have my torch.
Can I have that bowl really quickly?
Sure, but we just opened the door to the sarcophagi, shouldn't we?
Just want to see if there's anything at the bottom of this well. And I grab it and I stick one of my arrows in it, and I just sort of scoop the bottom of this well if I can see if I can get any purchase. Or I want to see how deep it is.
As you stick your arrow in, it just melts as you push it in. The arrowhead and then the shaft, and let it go, and you see the rest of it just fall down, and the feathers, then it all sinks down.
All right, let's forget that.
I agree. Shall we?
I get it.
Michelle.
When you guys make your way into the next room, and I'm sure, Otto, you've conveyed this, you all walk in, you see there's a beautiful mural painted on the opposite side. There is a large sarcophagus in front of you. You see now that it has a golden sun on top of it, like an emblem that's been carved out of pure gold that is attached to the top of the sarcophagus. Again, the mural is all of these people in brown robes, and they are all holding hands, women, men. There are a couple Gith, there are a couple Dragonborn, there's some other races, mostly human, some elves. There's a large sun of the same shape that's on top of the sarcophagus. There are 4 chests, 2 on each side of the sarcophagus in this curved room.
So I would like to look at this mural, and you said there's these cloaked figures in brown robes.
Correct.
Do I have any inclination as to what this could be, what group they represent? Is there any symbology on them? Is there any, I mean, I know Kello told us a bit about who the people were here, but does this seem like is it consistent with that group we heard about, or does it seem like something different?
Roll a perception check for me.
Perception, okay. I got 11 plus 2, 13.
Yeah, it's good enough. I mean, you look at it, you see the sun symbol. It matches what you saw in Makutha, which was the Grian Academy. It's that same, the shape of the sun with the curved rays coming off of it. You see on the robes, they all have these little necklaces of the sun, either a necklace or it's part of their belt where they have the sun emblem. And everyone, unlike everything that you've seen with the necromancers, everyone here looks very happy. You see that it's been painted to represent golden light hitting all of them. Their heads are all upturned a little bit as if they were getting the rays of the sun, and there's a general happiness to all of them as they're all holding hands in unity.
This is more like it. I like it here.
Yeah, I'm kind of holding the torch and examining the mural, and I say, yes, this must be a shrine to, and I look at the sarcophagus, and I say, well, I don't know who exactly. We should be careful in opening, but perhaps the armor or the map leading to it.
Or if there's any treasure.
Well, there are those treasure chests, but again, just be careful. There's been many traps and deceptions within these walls.
And one of the chests you can see looks like it's been kind of smashed open. You see it's on its side, and it is the lid is open, and it looks empty. One of the 4.
Do you think there's any chance, I stroke at my mustache, that whatever body is inside could have been corrupted in some way? Could it have been turned to evil? Just me being paranoid then, I guess.
I'm not sure, but I know that a lot of other things that seemed innocuous did end up to be evil here in the necroly, so maybe.
Yeah.
Is there any conical shapes around here?
No.
This is just, and there's no way out of this room?
Nope.
Okay.
Dead end. Well, yes, and then I think, by all means, I'll stand vigilant here while you all investigate.
Dad,
Careful.
didn't I do primeval awareness before we went into this dungeon?
You did.
And didn't I
You-
detect that there?
You detected undead.
You detected some undead, yes.
I did.
Well, then it sounds like my theory may be true.
And as you remember that era set, and the rest of you are cautiously taking a step forward, wondering what you're going to do in this room, we're going to go to break. And we'll be right back because
You gotta stay
my
with
drink,
us, guys.
I'm trying, but this is empty. And I just
I'm
cannot
not
get.
Been empty for a
I know. I
You
really.
gotta know
I planned
Yeah.
what's in
poorly.
the sarcophagus.
Yeah, don't leave. You got to come back. I'm setting my 10-minute timer. We'll be right back. Stay with us
be right back.
to see what is happening in this place. Thank you all.
Oh, in a bit.
Bye, we're back. Hello.
Hello.
And welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to part 2 of the role players tonight.
Welcome to pot wine of the role players.
Yes,
Part
drinks
one.
refreshed. Everybody else refreshed. I hope you all out there are ready to see what is down in this crazy place.
I can't help feeling like we found a
We're
clever
being
workaround, but we totally failed that acid well.
Look, we were not.
We got
I don't
cracked.
view it that way.
No,
I don't view it that way.
I think it
We
was
got past the door. I'm a happy camper.
I mean, that is
That's true.
the
No, I
only
know.
objective.
I know.
I mean,
exactly. That was
I
a
know.
damn good workaround, if I don't say so myself.
It was
so.
damn good.
You know
But
what?
Sure, there was
Sometimes-
something clever that we totally missed.
Sometimes you gotta take the long way.
hey,
That's one of-
Sometimes
all that
that's
matters is
another one of
obstacle
Otto's memoir
overcoming
titles.
Obstacle
That's all that
overcome.
matters. Yeah. So
Yes.
well done. I love. This is what I love about D&D. I never would have guessed that you would fashion a bowl out of a vine to scoop the acid and get. I don't know why. Maybe I should have thought about that, but I did not think
Well,
about that.
That's gonna
when
be
you- when
be
you-
a bowl that we
Yeah.
we hang on to because
when you described it as
Yeah.
so strong, I was like, I wonder, hold on, let's just throw a chunk in there and see if it does.
Yeah, that was clever.
And it was like, okay.
yeah, it all has brought us
That
now
was
to
clever.
the showdown with the sarcophagus.
And then Jeremiah Johnson
I feel like we're about
crafted the bowl.
roll initiative soon. Now that there's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
I don't
Nancy,
I don't know. I don't know.
and sarcophagus.
Well, because we know that there was rumors of an undead inside, based on.
Yeah, and we
But
do
did
know
we-
that nothing is as it seems. So, like,
Naraseth
here it
told us,
goes
so yeah.
for actually nothing, but the pretty golden room is probably like the 18th circle of hell.
Yeah.
So
So-
Otto's like been staring at the face of the sarcophagus for a while, as we're kind of looking around, and I kind of look at everybody, and I'm like, "So, who's feeling brave?"
well,
Well,
I'm feeling
I will.
feeling greedy, so can I get into these chests?
Yeah, I'll check the one that's smashed, if you don't mind, Tabby.
Of course. I'm gonna go for one that is not smashed.
Yeah. Go ahead. Well, tell me what you're doing. Are you just opening? You're investigating?
Cautiously investigating for traps.
Understood.
Because I remember I don't want like my
Eyeballing
hands
that.
to be chopped off or anything like that.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Roll investigation.
Oh, yeah.
You can too if you want, Seville. I mean, you see that this chest is kind of open and on its side. But
Yeah.
if you want to roll investigation, tell me. I'll tell you what you see.
24.
Yeah. So you see that it looks like this one was like bluntly opened with a weapon. You see big chunks of wood missing from where the locking mechanism was. You look inside. You look for a false bottom. There's just nothing. This thing is just.
All right. no scorch marks, no like acid burns, nothing that this was
Just-
trapped and they just overpowered it.
No, it's just like it got cleaved open. There's no evidence that there was ever a trap in it.
My kind of people smash chest first, ask questions later.
Yeah. Is
mean,
this
it's
look
effective.
like similar to a staged event? Like maybe it's placed in a certain way? Does it look like it's been smashed, or kind of like appears that it's smashed?
Interesting question. I mean, it's sort of hard to determine, right? I mean, you can see that it's definitely smashed. It is in the position of, there are 4 chests. There are 2 on each side of the sarcophagus.
Right.
So this is on the right-hand side if you're looking at it from the doorway.
Yeah.
It's relatively in the same spot it would normally be if it were not smashed, but you're going to
Okay.
have to draw
Any
your own
foot-
conclusions.
Any footprints around here? You said this place hasn't been really.
No footprints. This you
okay.
can see as you move around that you're disturbing pretty thick dust.
Okay, so we're the first in here in a long time.
In a long time. But and again, to
right.
remind you that the sarcophagus is glowing with a golden light emanating out of it.
And
Right.
I'm getting closer to that sarcophagus, and I'm investigating the hell out of it. I'm all up on it.
All right.
I'm just gonna get in its grill and just have a little. I'm gonna have a little party with it.
Give it a once over.
That
All right.
sarcophagus and I are gonna have a word.
You're gonna make out of the
Ariset's
corner.
like,
Go for
you
it.
and me, I want to be on you.
Just watch out.
All right. Roll inappropriate
I wanna be on
investigation.
Yes.
Okay.
Asking consent first. Asking consent
Oh, we
first.
can only ever reference one fucking movie.
Exactly.
I got a 13 that is like so not matching the kind of smack talk I just had.
No, I didn't hear what'd you get? A 14?
13.
13. So, I mean, you do move close to it. You can see there's it's obviously a magical glow that is coming off of this sarcophagus. Again, you
Right.
look at the sun. It seems like the entire thing has this glow, but there is this golden sun emblem that you see on top, and you look and you can see it's mimicked in the mural on the wall that has been painted in quite 3-dimensional detail. And it looks like it is on the top, like it's a couple inches thick. It looks like it might be solid gold or gold plated, you can't tell. The sarcophagus itself seems to be some kind of white stone that is emanating this glow that is lighting up this chamber.
Okay, and so I go to the mural and I also check the mural to see if it's 3D, if there's a similar shape in the mural anywhere.
Okay, roll another investigation check for me. We'll show you what you get.
Let's see what I got.
Show what you
Keep an
got.
eye out for Touch McGee. She could be hiding just there.
Touch me.
Okay.
You'll find Touch. It's there.
That's right. Okay. Jeez.
We found the missing
Wow.
body.
Okay, it's a skill check. It's not a combat scenario. It's not a critical hit. But tell me, what do you have total?
Happy still.
I know, so happy, so great, so amazing. Not to diminish your 20. What'd you get total?
Not to diminish, but you totally are doing that, aren't you?
Yeah, but I'm still gonna do that. What is your total?
Lock it down.
Investigation or perception?
No, investigation.
23 then.
23. Okay.
on,
Shy. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, that's a crit.
Crits do not work on skill checks. They only work in combat. But they're still awesome. They're still awesome. We still love them.
Details,
To me,
details.
I count every single crit, so you guys let me know for my personal records.
Great. But Ariset, it's still like you just feel like you looked at the sarcophagus, there's some kind of connection you immediately knew. You moved over to the wall, you looked at it, and at first it is painted in 3D detail, but you think it's still a 2-dimensional image. Your hands pass over it, and where it should be air, you feel shape, and you can tell that there is a shape in this sun, even though you can't see it. It's part of the wall, but you can feel it. Madbug Streams! Our friends are here!
Hello, everybody. There's an invisible sun shape on this 3D mural that
You
I'm
feel
feeling.
something. Yeah, you feel something there.
Ah, I press it. I press it.
You press it and nothing happens.
It's almost like a crit that didn't do anything again. What an anticlimax.
It really is. It's like really.
I mean, try other
Well,
things. Let me
I
force
twist
feed
it.
you.
I twist it.
Ah, there we go. Okay.
Okay.
You start twisting it, and it does. It moves, and you hear, and throughout, underneath in the floor, you hear, and then you hear, and it like spins back, and
And
nothing
then it
happens.
goes do 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 do. Ooh ah. You know that song?
Yeah.
You know he's bad at singing it.
I think you can tell by your impression. You're not big on them, huh?
Genre of music.
All right, what are y'all doing? You can tell it did something, but you're not sure it did what you want it to do.
I twist it the other way.
It won't twist that way.
I do whatever it takes to do whatever it takes.
Oh well, then blah 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 blah. Use your
I do it
brains.
all.
Pull it.
All right, so I'm looking at Arisette, and she's
You
manipulating.
can see
something
her.
on the
You can see
mural.
her on the wall, going like this. Looks like she's doing it into the air in front of the shape
She's
of
like
the
playing that
sun.
game,
Bop
Bop It.
it.
She's like,
But
I
as
pulled it. I
but as
twist
she
it.
as she's
bop
doing
it.
this, you
I
can all
like it.
hear gears grinding in the floor. But then almost like they're not quite holding on to, like kind of resetting.
Question: What is Snack doing at the sound of this?
Snack's kind of like sitting on his haunches, just kind of watching. You see when
Okay.
that makes a sound, his kind of her ears perk up a little bit, but then she goes back to just.
Seville, or Otto, somebody touch that golden sun on the sarcophagus at the same time that I twist this.
Bill, I
All
think
right.
it should be you.
So I make a little connection to Chaterelle, trying to feel that golden light I felt before, and I lay my hand softly on the sarcophagus, and I say, "Luck be a lady." Tonight.
And what do you do?
I just touch it as Arisette does whatever she does with the other dial.
All right, you touch it.
Arisette, go.
Arisette turns it, and you just have your hands on it.
I'm just driving Miss Daisy here. That's all. I'm just driving Miss Daisy.
And once again, the same sound happens. It's like it sounds like gears, and then like it all resets.
Okay. Let me come help. Obviously, this is like a long lock kind of situation, but let me just finish this chest. So
Yeah,
I'm
let's
going to
look at-
finish looking at what's in the chest. I got a 17. Did I get in the chest?
You did. You
Successful.
don't see any traps. There's no lock on them either.
Okay.
Which one? There are 3 that are not open. There's 1 to the right and 2 to the left. Which one are you going to?
I'm going to the right.
Okay. You open that one up, and there's nothing inside.
Okay, so then I just shut it and I walk over to try to help with this lock situation because I know a thing or two about locks.
Okay. So you watch Arisette is turning it, and Seville just has his hands on the sun on the sarcophagus, and you hear it reset again.
Okay, Seville, why don't you try pushing in?
All right. Is there anything that looks? Is it flush or to the thing, or is it embossed in there into the stone?
No, I mean you look, and there's a gap between it and the sarcophagus. It's slight, but there is a gap.
All right. I'm gonna try to rotate something with that dial as well, in the same direction that
don't
Arisette
take my
is.
suggestion.
Okay.
Very well.
You start turning it, Arisette. Are you doing anything now, or are you just watching him do this?
I turned it at the same
Turn
time.
it the same way I am. Turn it
Yeah.
clockwise.
Yeah.
You both turn at the same time, and you hear this time, and you hear, and the lid of the sarcophagus like just rumbles and shakes right in front of you, and you both kind of jump back, and you see this dust kind of filter down to the floor, and it raises up. And you look inside, and there is a like ladder leading down.
Ah,
We're just getting
not a dead
further
end after all,
underground.
it seems.
There you go, wild sauce.
Okay, who's
I
gonna
Right.
take Seville and I just kiss his forehead. I'm like, yes.
Okay.
Like, kiss his forehead, and then I'm like, oh,
Yes, well done, wild sauce. Well done. and I'll put my hat back on.
And Dagmara says, "Are we going or not?" And she climbs in.
Yes,
and
go
starts going
down. Yeah, go down,
I'm gonna go
Dagmara.
after Dagmara, and then I'm gonna signal for Snack to follow.
I want to see. I want to wait because I want to see a cat go down a ladder.
Yeah, Snack goes up to the edge and is looking down. And you're watching. Snack is unable to follow downstairs.
Okay, well, then I can't go.
What?
Or down. Sorry, down the ladder.
What?
Can Snack just jump down the ladder?
Why don't you roll an animal handling check and see if you can convey? It only looks like it's about 10 feet.
All right.
Oh,
I'm gonna go,
come on.
Dagmara.
A cat like him.
We're looking for a map. Go get it for us. We'll wait here. Thanks.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Hey, did we check
Okay.
all the chests?
No, we
Nope.
didn't. We still have two more
Well,
to
I
go.
guess I'll go have a little look at one while everyone else is so preoccupied.
So 14 was my number, and I would like to remind you that the climb is 40 on Snack.
Yeah.
If this is a climb.
So, as you start to go down, you see Snack up there, and she's hesitating, and you kind of mentally convey, just it's not a big deal. Come down. So Snack jumps up on the edge and is kind of like teetering with all four paws on the edge of the sarcophagus, and then is just looking, and then just leaps and goes right over you, hits the ladder, pushes off the ladder, and lands on the ground and kind of spins around down below. And it's like licks herself like, yes, it's no fucking thing. Don't worry about it.
I give Snack a little jerky treat. Good cat. Oh,
And you
Who's a good snack?
Who's a snacky
I
poo?
said, who's a good snack?
who had a snack
Snacky
attack?
poo.
All right, Otto, what did you get?
Sorry, remind me what I was supposed to roll. I wanted to go look at the other chests.
Oh, well, it's up to you. Are you just opening them? It's you.
Yeah, do they look, I look at them, do they, I guess I would see, I'd be wary that they could be booby trapped.
Yeah,
but if not, I'll just open it.
They don't have locks on these sides, so if you
Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of like, with my boot, see if I can like kick one up.
okay, so you kick there too, the one closest to the sarcophagus or the one away?
How about the one, I think the one closest to the sarcophagus.
No problem.
That's the next one I would go to.
You kick that one open and you look inside, and there are a couple just gold coins, like 3 gold coins on the bottom.
Yeah, that's not even enough for Otto to bend over to get. But he'll go over to the furthest one now and do the same thing.
You kick it open again, and this time, but it just seems to be some kind of compressed air or something. You're like, and as the kind of smoke clears, you see there's a bag there.
I examine the bag.
It looks like it's like an old burlap. It's not leather. It's burlap. It's half rotted away. You see the glimmer of gold below it. Not coin though.
Not coin. Well, I think I'm gonna pick it up and see what's inside.
You pick it up, and it literally just comes to tatters in your hands, and you see pouring out of the bottom are these gold bars. They're about
Why
two.
is he getting it, not me?
You didn't go 2 inches wide and maybe like four to like 5 inches in length, and there are 10 of them.
Ooh, we'll share those. Yeah.
Well, I will
He's not gonna share that.
smile and glee. Yes, I certainly will. I will take the 10 gold bars and stuff them into my pack. And I will hand them out to everyone when we can all
Perfect.
for a moment.
I can't wait for that.
And as you're putting them in your pack, you can see each one is stamped with that
Yeah,
sun.
what's the symbol of the stamp? The sun symbol?
It's a sun symbol. These are blessed gold bars.
These are blessed gold bars. Okay, let me
That's
add.
so
Right.
Let me add this here.
Nice. Is that all the? Is there one more?
No, that's all.
I think that was all of them. So
Okay.
everyone, let's
Four.
see. With Dagmara, that makes 5 of us, meaning we all get 2 of these stamped gold bars. So you can add that to your equipment. I'm gonna pass them out to everyone.
All right. Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice, very nice. All right. So you all, and I assume, Otto, are you making your way down as well?
I am.
Okay. You all make your way down there. When the last person hops off the ladder, you see the ladder kind of springs up about an inch, and you just see the top close above you.
Well,
You're now in a very...
I'm gonna write on the wall with my chalk. Shit.
Okay, the wall's about 20 feet away here.
was here.
Yeah. Or on the floor then.
This is, okay,
Shit.
on the floor. This is an unusual room. It's very large. You gather it's larger than the floor above. You look at the edge, you see that same kind of like curving... Why do my hands don't seem to line up on camera? Anyway, these kind of curving walls. But the floor here is not completely flat. It seems like it goes down, tapering to a center point. There's a lot of moss here. All of the surfaces are covered in moss, and it's almost like an algae, like it's slippery. As you all get off the ladder, you kind of catch yourself looking around. There's no wall separating this room. It's one massive, large, circular room, about 8 feet from the floor to the ceiling. It has a very kind of musty smell here. You also hear something. You hear maybe water.
Knew it. I knew it.
What are you doing?
Okay, so we've got a circular room with water. I'm hearing somewhere.
You're hearing it, yeah. And this room is larger than your dark vision, so it goes off beyond the 60 feet of your dark vision. So you can see kind of roughly to the center of the room where you're standing right now, and you do see that it goes down to this kind of center point. You don't see a grate, you don't see anything in the center. The stone just seems to kind of, it's almost like a very shallow conical shape here.
I go towards that and I put my ear to the bottom of it and I see if the sound of the water is stronger there.
You go to the center. As you approach the center, Ariset, you hear a click, and the rest of you, it's quiet down here. You all hear this really loud click, and you hear... You hear
this kind of sound again.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like gears. It sounds like something heavy, maybe stone. And then you hear this rushing sound of water. And a second later, you see out of the darkness, for that 60 feet of dark vision, you see this wall of water. This is rushing at all of you, and it blasts all of you off your feet. And within seconds, you see you are now swimming in water, and it is just filling up very quickly. And you look at the ceiling, and you're looking around for something somewhere to go, and there's just nowhere. And within seconds,
I am thinking back to when the mermaid cave exploded.
I was too.
And I am trying to remember how we got out of it that time.
As you're having
I'm gonna make sure I take a big, deep breath before I go under. The biggest and best one that I can.
Yep.
As you're all floating towards the surface, and that last couple inches of air, you take a big deep breath, and even Snack seems to realize that same thing, and then it fills up, and the moment it touches the ceiling, you hear, and the center of the room drops out, and all of the water starts rushing down, and you're scrabbling, and it's starting to form a whirhole, and you're spinning around, and you're going
this is like a
down.
giant's toilet.
And then boom, you are falling 20, 30, 40 feet, and then it starts to curve, and you hit that curve, and then you can breathe, but you're on this water slide. It's completely polished stone, and you are just sliding down. Your torches are out.
I'm trying to get to my feet. And
So Tabitha, Otto, you
At
see
the end, there's like a thing that takes a picture of us, so everybody go like, yeah.
So you can't see anything, you two, but the rest of you can see. It's just this like perfectly carved stone, and it's going down like this large corkscrew. You're building speed. The sloshing. You hear your friends. Ah! You're all screaming as you're going down. Picking up speed, and then finally, you just fall again.
Wow.
And you're like,
The tidy bowl man, we get
And then-
flushed.
the water kind of
I'm
catches up with you.
I'm sorry.
And then you kind of catch the waterfall, and you slide at an angle, and then
All right.
all of you
The whole-
are underwater, and there's light here though. It's this kind of dark, almost like a navy blue, this water, and you start climbing your way. Your air has left you, and you climb your way and explode at the surface. Getting air.
All right. The whole time I've got my hand on my hat.
Can't lose that
The whole
hat.
time. I'm not losing that hat.
You never lost your hat.
In the
So-
picture, he's like,
I'm just like,
What are we seeing now? Is the water calm, or are we just all? What's happening?
The water is still frothing behind you. You get the sense that, like, the water that had filled the room has emptied now, but there's still water flowing down this
I'm gonna-
pipe.
I'm gonna
And
Are we in
try to swim to
another room though,
shore.
right?
well, do a
Like, we're
perception
way
check.
down.
Actually, for those of you just looking around, you're in a large kind of cavernous space, but you can see now there's some sort of a light coming in from the side. As you can see, all the water in this, it's a small underground lake, is pooling and flowing out, and you can just see it cascading in a waterfall over the side. You see flickering torchlight now, which you had seen before. The statues on the outside in the gorge, holding these like 15-foot torches. Down here, you see just a bit of that light coming through, and you can see that all of this water here flows through and then pours out that gorge. It is
Is there
a
like a ledge on the side, or like a sandy shore on the side, or anything?
You look around, there seems to be nothing but water, except there are these thick vines coming down from the ceiling. You look up, you can't even see the ceiling above. Just these thick, like 2-3 inch vines that are hanging from the ceiling above, spaced about every like 5 to 10 feet. This
They the
underground
super strong
lake.
vines?
What's that?
Are they the super strong vines?
They
that
look
interact?
different, actually. They look different from
Okay.
what you saw before. Actually, you can't see anything because it's pitch dark,
Yeah,
and
I
your
take it
torch is
my
out.
I see one.
torches got
I grab
depths.
one. I grab one just to like hold on to.
Okay, you grab one Arisette, and you see there are little leaves and other kind of growths off of it. As soon as your hand touches it, they kind of wrap around your hand, and slowly you get lifted out of the water. The rest of you see Arisette getting pulled up out of the water.
Oh,
Grab a vine, and I, with my free hand, I try to hold my moon dagger out, so give a little bit of light, so it can emanate, so that can maybe the others that have their elven light can see. See if you can see one.
Yeah.
Grab one.
I'm swimming to find Snack, or looking to see if I can see Snack.
Snack
And
is
then-
right next to you. Just
That's a good
right.
fan art image of you on a vine with your moon rapier lighting the way.
it is
for the rest
actually.
of
That's.
us.
I know.
But yeah,
Feel
I
the
Not to put
moment
everything on you,
when we
Marty,
play.
but I'll figure
I
out
know.
one.
I will
So-
grab onto a vine.
So I'm grabbing onto a vine and somehow communicating for Snack and I to
Snack's
do a
right
bear
next to you,
hug.
so as you bring Snack close, and Snack gets close to that vine, you see that the leaves extend out and wrap around Snack and start to pull you up out of the water.
You're helpful. They're helpful vines.
Dagmara does the same. What are the rest of you doing?
Sibyl, ora.
grabbing one, grabbing a root,
I've grabbed.
holding on.
Okay. All right, you all now, you've got hold of this vine, and it grows around your hand and holds you in place, pulls you out of that water, out of that slow draw that was tumbling to that deadly waterfall, and lifting you up, and it's quite the cavernous space. I mean, you travel 20, 30, 40 feet, and as you get closer finally to the top, Erisette and Seville, you see that they're, it's almost like a large barnacle that this vine is going up into at the ceiling. You're like, oh, that's really interesting, until you see this beaked mouth sticking out from underneath.
Oh, guys!
It's just
Come on.
winding up this, and you see it's kind of quivering as you get up, and you're about like 20, 30 feet away from it. Seville and Erisette, and I'll roll for Dagmara, do a perception check for me.
Jesus.
20.
Waterfall or being eaten by a barnacle?
20. Seville, and Dagmara's having trouble focusing. She can only just look at this creature ahead of her. But Seville, you see close to the barnacle creature, you see an opening in the ceiling leading to a room above. That's right next to your barnacle. And you're all roughly close together.
So do I have a chance to make it up into that room?
I mean, tell me what you're going to do as you're getting
Yeah,
closer.
As I'm getting closer, I'll time it the closest I can get, and then I'll make that leap for that.
Okay. Erisette, I'm going to say that you're the closest. What did you get for your perception?
I got a 6.
Okay. Total?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll just to be generous, I'll let your passive perception, because you didn't ask to take a look. I'll say your passive perception, you see this hole as you're going up, and you were the first one to touch a vine. So you do see the hole in the ceiling as well. And you're heading towards it. You're now maybe 10 feet away from this beak, and you see this beak opening wider, and this kind of fleshy mound behind it getting ready as it's pulling up this vine to you. Tell me what you're doing.
Wait, so there's that, but then there's a hole over there?
Yeah.
It's really
And
close
the
to you.
first
It's really close to your barnacle.
Maybe do some sort of Tarzan move. and
Yeah, these
swing.
barnacles have like a really rough, rocky exterior shell to them. So if you do time it right, you see that you might be able to either climb on the shell or do something with the vine to try to get to the hole. What are you doing?
I start wriggling, and I use my rope to tie my arrow to my own vine, and then I shoot my crossbow into the hole.
What?
And I try to like get some purchase so that I don't go straight up into this maw, and instead I'm like at an angle, and I suck myself up into this hole that I see.
Okay, all right.
MacGyver.
All right, you don't have a crossbow, but your bow, yes. Roll an attack and let me
My
see.
bow.
Let me see what you got.
There you go.
All right, here's what I got.
What'd you get?
Okay, let's roll well this time.
Yeah, thanks. Dad.
Oh,
What activity am I rolling here? I mean,
just
Your bow.
your
Shooting
bow.
your arrow.
Your bow. Yeah.
Yeah, which probably shows that that's.
oh,
yeah.
okay.
You probably
okay.
have like a +8 or something to
So
it.
wait, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He tied a rope to her arrow.
She was in a very MacGyver type.
Okay.
We're gonna
Right.
allow it. You know, you have I think you have elven silk rope, so it's lighter than like a bulky hemp rope.
And strong, right?
Oh, it was very
is, and
strong.
nimble.
It'd be more like,
Nimble.
could you fire an arrow with rope attached to it? With elven rope, I'd say yes, but other than that,
Real elven rope.
My dad made sure I had some of that before I set out on my journey.
well, you're
Oh my
an elf,
god,
so.
that's real elven
That's
rope.
real elven rope.
Of course it is.
So
Could
what
it
did you get
be?
total? 14?
13.
13. So you fire your arrow. It makes it through the hole, no problem. You pull, and you feel you've got like a tentative hold on, like it hits something, it's wrapped around something. It doesn't feel super strong, but you feel like it's enough to move you. What are you doing? You're 5 feet away. What are you doing?
I'm wriggling, and I'm just trying to like get away from the maw of this maw.
You gotta tell me
And then-
exactly what you're doing. Come on.
Okay, and then at least on this
Wiggling.
downswing, because at least I get, instead of going straight up into it like a fish on a reel, and next time when I'm swinging back toward the barnacle, I jump on the barnacle, like on top of
Okay,
it. So
okay. All right. Give me a strength check just to see if you can pull off of this vine, break the things that are holding you to it.
Yes. That's a strength check.
A strength. Just give me or I'll say we'll
Wait,
say athletics.
What?
Athletics.
What went wrong? You bailed out of that celebration
That
halfway
is a
through.
15. On
15, no
athletics,
problem.
that is a 15.
So you,
15?
as it's trying to wrap around your hand more, you just, you rip free. You're now free of it, and you jump. And you grab onto that ledge, and you see the rest of that vine, and you hear the snap of the beak closing. And then a moment later, you see the vine slowly drop down again. Sad it didn't get its
Could've been
prey. You're holding
That
on
would've
to
been
the barnacle.
Boop, could have been you.
Yeah, it could have been you. And-
No, there's a giant gaping maw. He will eat you. You gotta do something quick.
okay, and you scream that, and now the rest of you know. Seville, what are you doing?
All right, well, because I saw it, I'm yelling down to the others. There's an opening, there's an opening. Get ready to jump, get ready to jump.
Okay.
Jump for the opening. So I'm going to jump for the opening.
heed the
I'll go to the
words of
barnacle and kind of.
All right, give me an athletics check. Ariset, as you are now holding on, you're going to climb up out of the hole. Tell me what you're doing so that you can assist the rest.
18.
Yeah,
Okay,
no problem,
I take
Seville.
my moon dagger. I take my dagger, just my dagger, okay? And I see if I can stab it into the wall of the hole or something to get just better purchase. Like if I were rock climbing and I were stabbing in like this.
With your dagger,
Can I
I'd say,
get
yeah, there are spots that you can kind of wedge it in a crack and use it to pull yourself
Okay.
up.
Okay, so I've got that, and then if it's feeling solid before I put my weight on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. I tie my rope to that, and I tie it to myself. So I'm feeling fairly sturdy. And then as people are coming up, I'm trying to grab them.
Okay.
Interesting. She's created an
You
entire
are-
belay system.
Yeah.
I mean,
Very savvy.
Okay.
So,
And
as
then
I-
you take some chewing gum, and then you.
right.
All right, I was
And
gonna
I
say
form a
before you guys
rudimentary
roll-
nuclear reactor.
Before you guys
Elephant
roll,
rope
I'm
is
not.
there.
I'm
A battery,
I'm not
a
saying that's not
toothpick.
gonna work or be helpful, but I have yet just one other thing I'd like to add to the mix.
A jet.
And as
and
we're
I do,
getting
and I'm
ready
like,
to-
I am open to suggestions.
As we're as we're getting ready to jump, I look up at Seville and Tabby and I say, "All right, Hugh, we're way too cool and interesting to die from falling here, so let's do this, yeah?" And I give both of them bardic inspiration on their
Nice.
Hell yeah.
for their
Thank
jump.
you, Otto.
Well, you've
Okay.
already made it up, so I'm not spending one on you. Sorry.
But I appreciate it because I'm hanging on by a thread here, pretty much.
All right.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Seville, you are
Yeah.
now Ariset's holding yourself in the hole. You've jumped. You managed to break free. What are you
Yeah.
doing as well?
I'm through, right? I had an 18, I'm through.
You've broken free, but tell me what you're doing. You've broken off of the vine. You've broken out and you've jumped
right,
to
so-
like the barnacle.
Okay, so jump to the barnacle. I see the opening.
Yep.
All right, so I'm jumping for the edge, and as soon as I hit the edge, I'm just yanking myself up.
Doing a muscle
And
up.
as
I like it.
I'm doing a muscle up, and as I muscle up and spring off, I'm kind of doing a rotation, landing on my stomach and jutting my hand right through the opening for the next one to come up, just in case they're short, they can grab my arm.
Okay.
This parkour, because I think it is.
Whoa, I've never heard of a stream that
Uses
is
so much parkour.
weaving D&D
I'm just saying.
and parkour
I mean, I don't know.
together
So beautifully
So
together.
beautifully.
in such
Yeah.
perfect harmony.
Hey.
It
like,
really is.
woven in.
And speaking of that, I mean, Dagmar just rolled an amazing athletics. So she like rips her hands away off this vine, but she continues to hold on to it as she gets close and she gets yanked up into the beak. She uses the momentum of that final yank to like reach out and grab the rock and kind of like pull herself almost like a multiple step muscle up as she and grabs that. And Seville, she sees your hand and she just basically bats it away as she grabs that upper edge and just pulls herself up and through like a fish coming out, like a fucking penguin coming out of a hole onto the ice.
I think she does better when she's not actually here. We're gonna have to tell Gabby to stop
Yeah.
showing up.
Gabby, I got you.
She just,
I missed her.
no.
We're
There's too
kidding.
much at stake. There's too much at stake.
All right, well, my hand is, for anyone who does need it, my hand is there.
I'm
and
the
my,
only one left.
My whip,
No, Otto hasn't made it up.
Otto.
And,
All right.
and my whip is at the ready. So
Well,
if they,
You
know,
see
I'm dangling
Tabitha.
that down.
You see Tabitha and Snack now coming up, and you both realize
well,
this is going to be
I'm
tricky.
getting out of the way for snack.
Well, all right. What are you doing? So
Okay,
Tabitha.
this is my plan.
Okay, what do you got?
How big is this around?
I'm communicating with Snack, and I like wiggle over and mount Snack as we're going up this like.
Battle cat style. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I have the power.
we are so connected,
Ready?
and we are ready when the time is right because Snack is so good at jumping and pouncing. I'm gonna command Snack to jump, and we're gonna jump and then climb up.
You know what? This is one of those moments where it hasn't always fully understood you, but now it needs to get the idea, you know?
Yeah,
it
this
really
time-
needs to get
Yeah.
This time,
do or die.
Snack gets it. You see Snack's eyes, glowing eyes, look up to the beak above, looking over to Erisette and Seville and this hole.
My heart is racing. Oh
but
my God.
no, there's nothing for Snack to jump off of. A cat normally would push off of something. And you see Snack's legs are like trying to push off the vine, and the vine just pushes out underneath it as it's holding
Okay,
on.
so
What are you doing? You're
we're
6
gonna
feet away.
Swing our bodies. We're gonna swing our bodies as violently as we can to the side where we could hopefully like swing. Okay, so like we're swinging the string up, we're hitting the side of the wall,
Okay.
and then ricocheting off into the hole.
Oh, we have a prop.
Okay, all right. And I say Snack immediately knows what you're doing, what you're going for.
Okay.
And it's just
Magically.
like, just trying to do it as well.
We're doing
And you're
our
putting your weight into it, and you're getting that. And you have one chance here. If this works or
thank
doesn't, you're going to
God.
get snapped by that beak. And as you're getting
So
close,
stressful.
roll an acrobatics check for me. Thanks, hon. Boom.
All right.
And
Well,
remember, you have your bardic inspiration, which you can
Which
use.
means what?
Yeah.
You can add a d6 to your roll. You just have to choose to do it before Judd tells you if it.
We're
was
gonna
successful.
do it just in case.
Okay.
Okay.
And you have
Add it.
bardic
We'll see what you
inspiration.
got.
Add it.
Yeah,
Hands.
that's what I was saying.
A 6?
Guys, I rolled a 20.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yay.
fuck yeah. Okay.
All right.
That's
So,
a 26.
in perfect timing, you you don't realize how much momentum this heavy cat and you can generate in this like short amount of time, and suddenly the whole vine just. That last second, the beak is opening up to snap on you, and you swing out that last moment, and you kind of wrap up and go up, actually, like go up the hole because you've got so much momentum, carries you right up the hole. Erisette, Seville, you reach out, grab the cat and Tabby, and just help pull it into the hole behind you.
And it's like. Bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum.
Ba-ba. Doodle-doo, doodle-doo. Okay, so I'm right back down on my chest, and I'm dangling my whip and my arm, and just go, oh no!
And it's only Otto now. Otto, you're 10
Yeah.
feet, 8 feet,
I'm
6 feet. What are you
content
doing? What are you doing?
Content to follow. Well,
I'm kidding.
Give me a second, wait.
I'm kidding.
I was trying to tell you that.
6 inches!
I
6
will-
inches!
He's like, sorry, too much time has passed.
You know what?
Too much time, you're up.
And
You're up.
Otto's dead. I'm gonna remove you from
your
the
chance.
stream.
Yeah. No, that was last time.
Flat
I
Otto.
will, once I swing, I kind of like stick my feet out and I Tarzan it. And as I draw close, I'm going to try to leap to the opening just like everybody else has.
Okay,
Alright.
you can use either
And
acrobatics
like-
or athletics for this.
kind of throw like an Eldritch Blast in that damn thing's face.
Oh, like a big fart.
Just be like,
like
I'm gonna focus on trying to get across.
all right, so right, go ahead.
Try not to die
Alright,
here.
I'll use acrobatics.
Okay.
14 plus 6, 20.
No
Yeah.
problem. So you had just
Right.
watched Tabitha and Snack pull it off, and you're like, "Oh, that
You
makes
were
perfect
inspired.
sense." And you start rocking, and as you're getting pulled up, and it can sense all the praise getting away. It hears the chattering. You hear these beaks snapping in agitation, and it starts pulling you up faster. And you have this one moment, and you swing it down, and you just let go. You rip your hands free, and you reach out and you grab that ridge. And Seville grabs your wrists and pulls you right up, and you all make it. And you're heaving and catching your breath and looking at each other like, fuck. Well done.
Okay,
What is
that was
this
a new
dice?
one.
What was that?
I
Well.
said that was a new one. That was new
What?
3.
What?
Well, I don't know how we're getting
Come on.
back down, but that was quite the ascent. All right.
Does this
Done.
opening
Well done,
proceed
everyone.
further?
So,
It's a room, right?
as you all catch your breath and take a moment to
Don't say roll initiative.
you
Rolling
look
shit.
around you.
Such a good show. Anyways, but yeah.
And you are in a room. It's a little bit higher ceiling, maybe 12 feet high, and you kind of look in this space. You see what must be some kind of an altar off to your right. And 10 feet beyond that, there's a wall, rough-hewn rock. But this altar is a 3-tiered kind of dais with a large sun symbol on it. And you look around behind you, and there are all these, they must be coffins. There may be 12 of them. And you see at the very end, those of you with dark vision can see about 60 feet down, there are stairs leading up. But all of you see this soft white blue light as a ghost rises up out of one of the coffins.
Ghost.
And it's robed as you saw the figures before. And it pulls back its hood, and you see a young elf woman, beautiful but ethereal as her ghostly shape kind of mists in and out. And she looks at you, her eyes narrowing, and slowly she pulls out a sword with wisps trailing off of it.
I'm gonna pull out mine.
And she starts to speak, but she sees you pull out your sword, and her eyes narrow more.
I quickly
No,
put my
no.
hand on. I put my hand on Otto and just
Yeah.
hold him back for a second, and I walk up unarmed, and I come up.
And with surprising speed, her blade comes around. You see the wisps of smoke following it. And Seville, you feel it. This is no illusion this time. The blade pushes into your throat. You feel it slowly cutting the skin as she holds it there. And her face is starting to distort in this anger.
If this is Rana, I said what I said, and that is a bitch.
What are you doing?
We are not here to tomb rob. We are not here to steal.
No.
I come for a map. I come for a map that'll lead to an armor and a weapon to help us against a great evil. Please search my mind, search my soul. I've been touched by Chaterelle, and I come to ask your help. And I just lower
She
my
spins
head.
the blade around, and you all
And I
see
take off my hat.
Seville lowers his head, and her face twists into anger. She brings down the blade right on top of Seville, and she's gone.
Judd, you're killing me. My soul is hurting.
Head, man.
Perhaps another illusion. Tough to
And
say.
I kind of I turn around and I'm like, see?
And you see
No problem.
blood is dripping down his throat from where the blade cut him.
Seville, you're hurt.
We better get a move on.
And I just,
we are
I kind of look at it and I just, very thankful. I say
perhaps
a little
rousing
whisper to Chaterelle for a thank you.
And for the first time, you've been reaching out to Chaterelle this whole time. You've
Yeah.
gotten nothing back. But as you say it this time, you feel a warmth inside you in quick answer. And you know that the name saved you in this moment. What would you like to do?
Let's continue before we rouse any more unrestful spirits.
I turn around to the group and I just say, we need to walk through here.
What do you mean by that? Walk true.
And I just look at Otto and I say, it seems this is the place of Chaterelle, a tomb of Chaterelle, a place of worship for Chaterelle.
Well, yes, of course. We knew that before we arrived here.
So do whatever you can to connect in your heart to the goddess. And I just put my hat back on
Connect
and
the
I
goddess.
say, may it be believed. And I touch my neck and just kind of swipe the blood off and turn and let's
Tabitha
walk
is
carefully.
doing, like a bunch of different things that she might think could help in this situation. She's guessing.
It's like
I
a
don't
cross
know.
between like a Vogue and
And
it's
like,
kind of
she's
like
like,
half
hey, we don't-
Vogue.
Yeah.
It's like Vogue, Chaterelle, we love you.
Exactly. It's an interpretive dance of sorts.
Oh,
One of those is bound to get it.
Yeah.
Just in case.
You
And
have
I
her
just- I
favorite.
go-
You have her favorite now. You guys are fine. Just walk on
right.
through.
We're walking on. We're walking on.
All right, so
I
you
just
make your
go
way.
to, yeah.
You make your
All
way past all of these coffins, and they're all carved beautifully out of stone, and each one. These do not glow like the sarcophagus above, but they have the same. They're carved from the same white stone, and they all have that golden symbol on them. You see, there's also writing as you pass. You can see names of each person in here, and dates that Seville, you know, by the Anacrean calendar system that is popular in this continent. That these are quite ancient, and
And what language is all this written in?
it's all Elvish actually.
Okay, so I can't read it.
And
I
you
think
make your
the rest
way.
of us can.
I think you're all. Yeah, I think the rest of you. All
I
have
think we
Elvish.
all can except for Tommy.
Except me, I don't speak that many
I'll have to
languages.
teach you Elvish one of these days.
yet.
Oh yeah, I'd love
Yes,
to learn
that's right.
Elvish.
And then when you come to my kingdom, when all this is over, I promise I'll get you fluent within 29 days. One moon cycle, and I'll have you speaking to your suitors fluently. You won't even notice that it wasn't your mother tongue.
Why do you assume that Tammy has any suitors?
I mean,
I was in the middle of a daydream, imagining myself in a palace. Okay?
Okay. Well, you know, some of us don't have to imagine such things.
so that's just me. We're, you know, those
My
of us
eyes are
born
looking.
Fortunate. Really, you can't even imagine what it's like. You've come into privilege and you have no sensitivity at all. Really. I'm surprised they didn't teach
Goodness,
you that.
Why would I bother imagining it? I mean, my goodness. Just
Can
being
we wait for the next campfire to do this, folks?
Oh,
Fine, Seville. Come on, Dagmara. We all have to be serious for Seville now.
yes, yes.
Let's get on and get out.
We're all
To be honest, he
very
did just nearly lose his entire life.
What was that? I missed that. What did you say, Arset?
So to be honest, he did just nearly lose his entire life. I mean, this place is no joke.
Yes, I think that's only the 318th time that I've seen Seville nearly perish. It was heartbreaking, truly. Anyway.
Sure,
shall we?
you wept. You wept, Otto, I'm
Yes,
sure.
yes. If only I had more tears to give. You've nearly dried me out, sir. All right, let's move on.
Sure.
So you all make your way
continue on.
down to the end of this room, and there is a staircase that winds up, kind of a circular staircase. These rough-hewn stones that overlap, forming this staircase up, and you all make your way up into another large chamber. This one seems completely natural. There are stalactites and stalagmites. The ground is rough, and you pick your way over the ground here. Looking around, you see that there are these shapes in the darkness, moving slowly.
Uh-oh.
Closer inspection, they look like really large snails.
Hats going on. Hats going on.
That's going on.
Oh,
Yeah, figures in the darkness. You can bet your ass that hat's going on.
But you can see they don't seem to react to you, other than maybe to slightly withdraw and move away. These are about, like, Tabitha, they're about a head shorter than you in height. I mean, these are large.
Alright.
Their shells have really aggressive spikes all over them. But they seem to just kind of slowly move out of your way.
And I'm just trying to give them their own space so that I can just be on my own because they're quite the same size as me.
Yes, and even Snack is kind of looking sideways and kind of pushing, almost knocking you over as it pushes into you. Not sure what to make of these things. It's an odd smell in the air, too, in this room. It's kind of stagnant, a little bit sour. You don't know if it's the mucus that these snails are clearly secreting as they move along.
Okay.
But, and you are at the end of this chamber on this end, and it just goes off into darkness. I'm going to imagine, Otto and Tabitha, that you have torches lit again, so you can
Yes.
see.
Yeah, if we could get some that would light again and everything, absolutely. We
Yeah.
do also have the light from Ariset's sword. I'm assuming she's still holding that out.
Erised, do you still
Right.
have your moon rapier out?
Yes.
Okay, and it doesn't cast a
Okay.
lot of light, but it casts enough where you can see the ground, you can see around you. You see the eye stalks of these snails just out of the edge of this light, kind of pull away. You make your way for about 60, 70, 80 feet, and you find a set of stairs. And they go up, not a lot, maybe 10. And now the ground is cut stone below you. You still look up, and the ceiling is like 40, 50 feet above you. These massive stalactites coming down within 6 feet of the ground as you see little drops of water dripping off of them, baby stalagmites forming. You push on to the end. You see a very well constructed stone staircase ahead of you, rising up out of
It
you.
goes up.
It goes
I
up.
just start going, and I
Goes up.
have my moon dagger out in front of me, and I just start going up. I'm drawn almost to it.
Okay.
Guess we
There's-
better
And
follow.
in the meantime, I'm praying to my goddess, Sahenian Mubo, and I'm saying, these are not my goddesses, but let them be connected. Let it be connected. This is my way of expressing my faith. Please keep me safe. And I keep
There's
going up.
in the darkness to your right, you see a face for a second. You whip over and you swear you saw a face there in the darkness. But as you look, it's gone. But instead of giving you anxiety or fear, it gives you comfort. And you feel the necklace around your neck just a little bit warmer. And then a moment later, you feel the tree also growing a little bit warmer. You all start to make your way up this staircase. About 50 feet up, there's another landing, and it switches direction. It goes back. There's another 50 feet and another landing, and you go up. And at the top of this, so you're about 150 feet from where you were, you come to a landing, and you see this ornate, beautifully carved entrance out of this stone. You see this double door with these huge metal rings. And it looks like as your torches come close, like the whole door is made out of solid gold.
Tabby, yes, Tabby. Tabby, I'm sure you'll appreciate this. Look at this.
Her eyes are just like hearts.
And as you move closer, each one of the bolts in this door that hold this together and give it strength, you see is a little miniature sun shape that you have seen. And what are you going to do?
I touch the door and say, melon.
Ellen,
Melon.
Melon.
Yum,
I love
yum.
some melon right now. Some friends.
this made me hungry.
Some elven friends with melon. Nothing happens. Speak friend and enter.
Is there any
I say,
places to lay down a
I take the door and I knock it. I just knock it gently.
Erisette brings up this big green. A second, then you're echoing inside.
Oh, cool.
Nothing happens?
Nothing happens?
Nothing
Oh,
happens.
looks like it open.
All right. Does this thing have a lock? Is it open? What's going on?
There's no lock on it.
Does it look like there's any way to pull them open at all?
I mean,
or-
they're rings. Do you want to pull?
I'm
I was
gonna
making
pull.
sure it looked like it could be from the outside. Yeah.
And I imagine they're very high for me. I'm like using both arms and like pulling.
They are, but they're quite
Yeah.
large. So even at you can grab them from standing.
So how about
Yeah, I
if
think we should open them.
If we pull them and we can kind of be like behind them as they open.
Yeah.
In case there's anything amiss.
You start to pull them, and they do. They open, and then for a moment they resist, and then they start to open. Then there's a, and all this wind blows out and dust, and you open up the door. You open them up, and you look inside, and immediately you all jump back. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tabitha.
I was gonna say, and it's gold.
You jump back and you see two golden figures looking down at you. Two giant, at first you think they're cats, and then you think they're not cats. They have beaks instead of muzzles. And they're not moving, but you see them in the darkness, reflecting their golden form.
And I'm kind of behind the door, so I haven't seen it. I'm just judging by their reactions, like what's going on, trying to figure out like, is it okay?
I forgot to switch the music. I was supposed to do that. What are you guys doing? As you see, here, let me just change the music. Hold on.
These gold figures.
Yeah.
Seville, what would you offer? This is a good time to show respect to the goddesses. What would you offer? What can we put?
So do these look like sentient creatures willing to... Can I touch their mind
They
with my
are.
telepathy?
They don't move. At first, you see the flickering light reflecting off their golden forms, but they don't seem to be moving. They look like they might be statues. They are large. They're towering over twice the height over the tallest of you, sitting on these blue rock structures.
They gotta be just normal statues that don't do anything, I would imagine.
They're probably just normal, but just to help you, let me give you guys a visual.
They didn't...
If
okay,
anybody is looking at Twitch, let me tell you let me show you what you're looking at.
Yeah.
I
feel like
totally kicked the camera at some point, so disregard that.
So while you're doing that... Oh, hello.
Hello
Hi,
there.
hi.
Dan, that is crystal clear, my brother.
There you go.
Gotcha.
So this is what you see, a large cavernous
Okay, so they didn't-
space.
They didn't just appear, right?
No, you opened the door and you looked inside.
Statues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Appeared in a manner of speaking, I suppose.
Right. No.
Yeah.
I thought they just materialized.
No, you
and they were just
you
guardians.
saw
Okay.
them through the mist and you jumped back scared seeing these giant
Right.
heads looking down at you.
Gotcha.
Kind of. I take
can I do
note
something?
of what Erisette said, and I'm like looking through my coins and stuff to try to find some sort of offering. And I'm going to pull out 2 rubies that I have.
Okay.
That I'm bravely willing to part with because I think it might help us.
Okay, and what are you doing
And
with them?
then I'm just like holding them up towards Arasat. Could these work?
Perhaps, but put one at the foot of each of the sphinxes and make a prayer. Tabby, do you know how to pray?
Well, let me see if
Not
something else
really.
works before we get too bogged down with dogma.
Oh,
And
fair enough. If I could save the rubies, I would go for it.
I flip my coin into the air, the dispelling of magic badge token of office that I have used at times before, and I kind of try to activate them toward these statues, wary that they may have some enchantment.
You do that, and nothing seems to happen.
All right, I just kind of go, wait. I think if there's something here that Kello said, a map. Let me try something here. So I'm going to walk up, not between them, but I'm going to look at their eyes, and I'm going to just watch and see if their eyes light up, but I'm going to not go between them, but right there, just almost like as if the eyes would light up, and I'm just going to kind of kneel down and go into a meditative posture that we've been trained to at the edge guard. And I just want to reach out that we're not here to steal anything, but just again to reiterate that there's a gray darkness approaching that's here already, and that we need this map. And I just want to try to commune this telepathically to if these are guardians or there's a spirit here. So I'm just going to go completely vulnerable here and sit down.
Okay. You do that.
Try to reach out.
And you reach out. You don't feel that warmth in response. You don't feel anything in response this time. The statues don't move. I mean, they literally just look like they might just be statues. Some kind of large golden creature.
I cannot get over this terrain. I am so sorry.
What's that?
I cannot get over this terrain. I have to. This is
take all the time
best
that-
one.
Enjoy it.
Take all the
Enjoy
time
it.
that you need. Whatever you gotta
Take
do.
it in.
Yeah, please do, because this shit takes a long time to make. So enjoy it. Just get in there, roll around in it, rub it on yourself.
It's like
Just come on in. The water's fine.
Act like it's foot rub moss. Get it?
I feel like I am in Raiders of the Lost Ark something 4.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
like
very Raiders of the Lost Ark.
All right.
Yes.
Let's quit being lame-os. I'll go in here.
Okay.
I also feel like that blue ring is like a target. Like, can we see that blue ring from our vantage right now?
No,
or
because it's
is
raised up on this platform in the middle. It's above your eyesight. You wouldn't be able to see it. You just see the stone steps leading up to this flat platform.
All right. All right. So do I see Otto just walk by me?
Yeah. So Otto, you just walk by. Otto.
Yeah. I
Do you
said,
watch? Yeah, okay. That might have been mental, but that's fine. So you walk
No,
by
I
Otto.
said it.
I mean,
I said it.
you walk by Seville, and the moment you pass Seville and you break that kind of plane in front of them, you see both of their heads immediately animate and snap, and you see their eyes light up with this intense golden light, and the beams shoot out and kind of like kind of cover you for a moment, and you freeze, waiting for the attack, waiting for the pain, waiting for death, and the beams subside and go forward.
Good
and
doggy. Good doggy. And I walk forward.
And I would imagine, because isn't Charterelle Dagmara's kind of like chosen goddess? Isn't there some sort of relation happening?
She's exploring. She's new to Chateauroux.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like she'd go soon across.
I
Yeah,
think
let's say
there's
she
just-
goes with Otto.
They're kind of what I'm seeing is a lot of like lukewarm kind of bandwagoning religion going on these days. Just people jumping on the Shadow
Yeah.
Wow, just pick on Dagmara when she's not here. That's
I
fine.
mean,
Hey.
All that.
hey, somebody roll this back for her. I want her to hear it. No. I keep going forward to examine the rest of what's going on in here.
All right, what are the
that
rest of you
middle area.
doing?
I am, just for good measure, putting one ruby down on the
Okay.
ground, and then I'm gonna continue and walk through with
Okay.
Snack at my side.
Okay.
All right. I'm not going to break the plane. I'm going to go to one of the sides of these statues and start examining it.
Okay, and you can see, I mean, what you do see in this terrain, there's vegetation, there are vines, they're a little bit different than the super thick ones you saw before, but they're similar. They're growing out of gaps in the wall, spreading across, growing out, covering the stone, and you see stalagmites, that have been forming on the basin.
Yeah.
And it's the ceiling, however, when you look up expecting to see stalactites up there, you don't. You see instead a domed ceiling that's like, 40, 50 feet up. And it's domed and it's beautifully painted with this gold paint, this massive sun emblem above you.
Beautiful.
And,
Does this remind us of Makutha, like that one
It's-
of those buildings?
It's
that
all
had-
the same, all the same imagery of the same shape of the sun. And there are two shapes there, and this is mostly the shape that you saw at the point of the city.
All right. Well, let's investigate then. We should be fine here. And I put my hand on my whip and I just kind of dangle it out.
Okay. And what are the rest of you doing? And I wish.
I wanted to move up to the stairs and check out the whole middle area. That's what I
I
was.
love it here.
And
so
finally, thanks to Thrill Studio, we have our
Thrills.
actual. It's not painted yet because I just got it, but our snack mini,
I'm so
which
excited.
is really dope. If you can see the muscles and the teeth.
Yes. Oh,
So-
that musculature.
It
huh?
will
That's
be it'll be
huge.
painted. Yeah, it's the right size. It's
Oh, it's
Nice. That's awesome.
I can't wait till we paint it.
I know.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
That's snack.
Oh.
All right, so the rest of you moving in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
remember, I'm going all the way to those stairs.
Okay, Otto, as you make it all the way to these stairs, and the rest of you move in as well, and Dagmara is passing. There's a moment when Dagmara passes the statues, where their heads whip over, and it looks like a scan. Like the light comes out of their eyes, and the light falls on her. You see them spring up to their feet,
What have you done?
and their mouths open a little bit, and you see their beaks, and almost like they're getting a better look, and she stops and turns as they continue to scan her, and after a moment they settle back into their shape, and their heads slowly lock forward again, and unnerved she moves forward.
I take that in, and I am really noting that.
Hit the camera
I'm
again.
really noting that.
Okay.
Can I check out this middle area, Jed?
As you, Otto, make it to the middle, and the rest are following in behind you, the doors, because that's what happens, are slam shut behind you, and you hear
The
this
classic doors behind us.
classic
Classic
door
door.
thing. It's a
It's
classic
only
door.
the 8th time this module.
These are how these things work. And you
Guys,
hear
this
this
is how it works.
grinding
module.
of mechanism. And Otto, as you make your way to the top of the stairs, you see that emblem in front of you. It starts to spin, and then it lowers, creating a hole. And you see this mechanism drop down. And you're watching this. The rest of you freeze. You hear this noise. And a moment later, you see something gold rising up out of this hole, and it's glimmering, it's shining in this darkness.
Map to the armor.
And
it's gold for Tabby.
it's just a gold golem that rises up in front of you.
Gollum.
And it's
Gollum, not column.
and it,
It's a
you see it, and it pulls out this big sword.
Hello.
And I would have you all roll for initiative, but we're gonna wait till next time to do that.
God.
Nice.
As you
All
see
right,
this towering figure in front of you.
Nice.
All of gold, ready to kill you all. We'll see you next time.
Oh.
We'll see what happens in this encounter. And
All right, wait, Judd, just for positioning, I was around to the far side of that
cat over here.
uh,
All right, you're investigating over there.
that
I gotcha.
statue. Yeah, I'm on the side over
the
there on the
griffin.
side of that.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Oh
I'm
my.
Yes, that's
still
right there, yeah.
back behind the tigers. The
Who is
hoods.
trapped behind on the other side?
No one.
No, everybody
okay.
came in. Everybody came
I was
in.
making sure. I was making
No,
sure
but I
y'all
didn't
got
cross
on.
the sphinxes, Judd.
Okay, so you're back here.
The sphincters, the golden sphincters.
Let's call them
I
griffins.
did
Let's
not
call them
cross
griffins.
the sphincters.
We'll call them
my
griffins.
own, my
Yeah.
precious.
I will cross them most likely, but I have not yet.
Don't cross them. They'll fuck you up.
They'll get you.
They'll get you.
Sphincters.
Watch out. They'll get you.
Sphincters are touchy.
Sphincters are so
Okay.
touchy. All right. Yeah, we've gone there. Okay, I'm
This
sorry.
reminds me
Pulling
of
it
that
back in.
character Anal that we once had.
Oh, I know.
His name is An. An. My name is An.
Anal
Yes, it's
Nathrak,
been a few
Utbed
sessions
Bisud,
where-
Dotiel Dienve. I mean, come on, let's do this.
Jeez Louise.
Oh my.
You all right? So I mean, first of all, thank you all for all of our new followers and our subscribers and our Patreon people and the people following us on YouTube. Thank you all. You're amazing. Don't forget, when we hit 500 followers, which we got several tonight, I don't think we hit 500. We're not quite there yet, but we're going to release some giveaways. So make it happen. Tell your friends. Bring everybody to the next stream. We're going to be having a guest star pretty soon. Cicero Holmes, who we had on our Bias and Racism in Gaming panel, is coming on the show. I'm hoping it'll be
Amazing.
next week. It might be next week or the week after. It depends on schedules. I'll let you know. But just thank you for letting us make your Monday a hell of a lot better. We love you all, seriously.
We love you guys.
You're amazing, amazing. Thank you for being part of our community. If you're not on Discord, please hop in there. Come chat with us. Join us for all the chats. Talk about D&D. Talk about your plants. Talk about your pets.
Come on.
Talk about your fitness. Talk about all your stuff. We want to hang out with you. So
And we'll see you on Wednesday on Numenera.
Numenera is
Yes,
this
indeed.
Wednesday, 8 p.m. Pacific. Please come. You get to
Yes.
be the GM. How could you miss
Yes.
that? We'll see you.
And look.
The heroes were about to rob a phase
Yes.
train, as I remember last.
Oh
so
my God, I
there's
almost
going
forgot,
To be
yeah.
a lot of room for intrusion. Be there.
That's
We hope
right.
to see you there.
That's
And
right.
listen, when we all get together again in the studio, there is going to be a one-off to find Toots McGee, and everybody's going to be in
isn't.
noir costumes. Yes,
I
there
love
is.
that.
I am
I'm just
writing
kidding,
it
I'm
right
just kidding.
now.
Oh, okay.
There's going to be a
Toots
search
McGee
for
one-off.
Toots McGee one-off.
I love
It's
it.
going to be a murder mystery, and everybody will be
Yes.
in
What rule system?
costume.
Murder at Toots McGee, you say?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Can we do it all in 1940s style? We can be
We're
like,
going to do like
My
proper
costume is
1920s.
going to be fire.
Oh,
Yes.
dude,
You guys are not even
Yes.
gonna
I'm
know.
gonna go get a
Yes.
three-piece
Yes.
ancient suit. I'm there for this.
It's going to be
yes, me too. I'm gonna wear a hat.
because
Yeah.
everybody's going to be just
Yeah.
To the nines,
Peter
to the
Peter will be
nines.
GMing that depending on what system you're using. That'll be our one
Yeah,
shot.
what rule system we
Can
talking
we shoot it in black and white? We'll shoot it in black and white.
Oh,
Love that.
Hey,
yes, we can. I
Yes,
love
we
that.
will.
Let's do it in black and white.
D&D.
You guys, we're having such a good flow of ideas right now.
I know.
Just to add to that even more, it sounds like it might be really suited for the fiasco rules system. if any are familiar. What you're describing is
What is this? I just got an all-over body shimmer.
Toots McGee!
Toots McGee, there's me a short.
This itch for Toots.
Be there! Don't miss out on Toots McGee! Coming to you live in Cinescope.
Cinescope.
All right, y'all.
Hey, you guys, have an amazing night.
We love you all, seriously. Thanks for enduring us.
Night,
we'll
everybody.
see you on Wednesday. We'll see you next week. We'll see you in all our things. We love you. Have a great night. Bye, everyone.
Bye.